Oh, all right, everybody, good morning, good morning. It is, clock says 9:47, and I'd like to call the Kane County meeting of the board together. It's January 13th, 2026. Clerk, could you call the roll, please?
Allen. Roy.
Right here.
It's here.
Garcia. Gripe.
Here.
Gums.
It's here.
Iqbal.
Iqbal present.
Juby.
Ruby here.
Ties.
Vice President. Leonard here.
Lewis.
Mavis.
Linder. Molina.
Molina present.
Nessus.
Here.
Roth.
Is here.
Sanchez.
Sanchez present.
Strathman.
Present.
Sturgis.
Cliff is not here.
Debbie here.
Williams. Young.
Here.
Pirog.
Here.
You have a quorum in the room.
Okay, welcome, everybody. I hope that for those of you who are watching the game on Sunday night, that your blood pressure and heartbeat has
Saturday night.
rised a little bit. Saturday night. Thank you. Thank you. Saturday night. Some of you are wearing the colors I see. So look forward to getting that anxiety level back up with the cardiac bears as they're playing the Rams. So good luck to the team. Any remote attendance requests? Ms. Molina, you are requesting remote attendance. I have your approval to allow her in with full voting? Yes. Okay, very good. Welcome, Myrna. Mr. Roth? There you are.
Today, I've invited the Tri-City Exchange Club to come in to do the pledge. We have a couple of members here. Would come up, please. I brought in flyers. There's some here. There's some right outside the door. City Exchange Club and Tri-Cities are St. Charles, Geneva, and Batavia is a service club dedicated to prevention of child abuse, supporting local youth programs, and promoting patriotism. It was chartered in 1979. We're part of the National Exchange Club, an American service with 650 clubs, more than 21,000 members throughout the United States and Puerto Rico. Some of our programs, we do the ACE Award, which is a college scholarship for students in the 3 cities, so 5 high schools. And the requirement is someone who is not necessarily extreme, it's more of the people in the background. And that starts in these award will be given in May this year. We have done the Freedom Shines throughout the country, and that's a public display of 26 of our nation's most significant documents. We currently have one at the St. Charles Riverwalk behind the former police station, and we also have one at the Kane County Branch Court on Randall and in selected schools and libraries. We hand out flags for kids at St. Charles Memorial Day Parade and the Geneva Swedish Day Parade. We do Salvation Army Christmas bell ringing. This year we raised over $8,000, which is the largest group contributing. We also do community service. We donate to the Salvation Army Food Bank and the Lazarus House, and we do fundraising for several events. We have an annual community pasta dinner where we donate the money to Lazarus House, and we have an annual raffle. So if you want more information, pick up a flyer. So I have 2 people, if you want to introduce yourself.
My name is John Hull. I'm from St. Charles.
My name is Hal Withy. I'm also from St. Charles.
John and Hal, thank you so much for being here.
So if
Appreciate
everyone
it.
can please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And then I'm doing the invocation this morning. Good morning. As we convene for our first Kane County Board meeting of 26, let us gather in solemnity and gratitude as we come together to serve the people of Kane County. With 26 being an election year, it's especially important that we as board members leave our partisanship at the door and work diligently and collaboratively to keep Kane County a great county. May our deliberations be guided by wisdom, fairness, and a shared commitment to uphold the rights and freedom of all citizens. Let us work together in unity and mutual respect, inspired by the democratic principles that unite us. We ask for divine guidance as we carry out our responsibilities, and may our efforts reflect the integrity, humility, and dedication required to faithfully serve the people of Kane County. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roth. All right, may I please have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of November 17th, 2025 and November 25th of 2025 and December 9th, 2025.
Madam Chair, this is Caius. I would ask for unanimous consent for the minutes of November 17th, November 25th, December 9th of 2025.
Do I have unanimous consent from the board?
Yes.
Yes, okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Caius. All right, this brings us now to public comment. Any of you are experienced speakers, but I'll remind everyone you have 3 minutes to direct your comments. Pretty strict on the time. The first public speaker will be Dan Spellman.
Good morning.
Good
Dan
morning.
Spellman, Geneva. Recently, I was asked, what does Team Normal stand for? Team Normal is not a political party. It's not a slogan. It's the belief that our leaders at every level should be guided by facts, decency, accountability, and respect for democratic norms. It's the idea that public office is a responsibility, not a stage for grievance, cruelty, or chaos. And today, I want to be very clear. What we're seeing from the MAGA movement and from Donald Trump in particular is not normal, and it is not acceptable. For generations, Americans have disagreed fiercely about policy, but we shared the same basic expectation of our political leaders, that they would respect women and people of color, not use force against peaceful protesters, not undermine elections, and not treat the Constitution as optional. These norms mattered because they protected all of us, yet we've watched this erode. We've heard Trump brag about sexually assaulting women. We've seen him publicly side with Vladimir Putin over our intelligence agencies. And we've watched him use riot police to clear peaceful protesters for political photo op. We've seen him use reckless economic policies in an attempt to politicize the Federal Reserve. And we've heard him threaten to abandon NATO and even flirt with invading an ally. This is a policy disagreement. These are failures of leadership. And when this behavior is excused or celebrated, cruelty becomes normalized, truth becomes optional, and accountability disappears. Team Normal rejects that. Team Normal understands that history matters. Someday, people will look back on this moment and ask, who stood up and who looked away? Many of those who look away now will later claim that they never supported the degradation of our institutions or targeting the vulnerable people. But I know the truth, and you know the truth, and history will know the truth. Being on Team Normal doesn't require perfection. It requires courage. The courage to say that this is not who we are, and this is not what leadership looks like, and this is not what we want to pass to the next generation. Here at the county level, your responsibility is clear: governing, not posturing; solving problems, not amplifying outrage; in other words, serving everyone in our community. So I urge the board to choose facts over fear, decency over dominance, and country over cult. That is what Team Normal stands for. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Our next speaker is Brian Anderson. Mr. , there he is.
Good morning. My name is Brian Anderson. I'm from South Carolina. I was asked what does Team Normal stand for. Team Normal is not a political party. It's not a slogan. It's the belief that our leaders at every level should be guided by facts, decency, accountability, and respect for democratic norms. It's the idea that public office is a responsibility, not a stage for grievance, cruelty, or chaos. And today, I want to be very clear. What we're seeing from the MAGA movement and from Donald Trump in particular is not normal, and it is not acceptable. For generations, Americans have disagreed fiercely about policy, but we shared the same basic expectation of our political leaders, that they would respect women and people of color, not use force against peaceful protesters, not undermine elections, and not treat the Constitution as optional. These norms mattered because they protected all of us, yet we've watched this erode.
Morning.
Good morning, Brian Anderson, Sugar Grove. Let me just start out this new year with this new county board. Reading your Kane County mission statement. The mission of the Kane County government is to be accountable to its citizens. I don't need to go any further. We are in a new budget year. We all know that. We all know what happened last year. But the facts are the facts, and it's time to get serious. We're 31 million deficit. Everybody in the room knows it. I spoke about it last week at the first executive meeting. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to do what we elected you to do. When you raise your hand to be a leader, boy, it's easy when things are good. And when things are challenging, it does require strategic thinking and courage. Budget cuts do need to be made across the board. And you need to start now, right now. I was attending meetings in June, July, and August of last year. You were just getting around to it. So there's no better time than to start in your new committees. Take a look across the board. I'm so delighted to see the state's attorney here today because we all know that the sheriff's department and the state's attorney, those are two very important, yet two big areas within the budget that needs to be addressed. Those conversations need to start now. The other reason I'm here, and this can go off of 10 Illinois CS 5-25-11. Most of you know on this body what I'm talking about. We have two districts, not one, but two. District 2, formerly held by a great board member, Dale Berman, it needs to be filled. The responsibility, I'm looking right directly at the chair. Now, if you're going to run the clock out until March 17th, when the candidate, because there's 4 of them on the ballot, and you want to make that primary winner the appointee of District 2, then just tell us. Tell us all or let the board decide. The other issue is District 9. Everybody knows Gary Dortry, resignation, few dates and times off, but that position in District 9 needs to be filled. Let me remind the board the mission statement. Kane County government is to be accountable to its citizens, all citizens. We have 24 of you representing Kane County. It's time to do the hard work. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put her accountable. The other thing is you're accountable to we the people, not party, not Corinne.
Thank
We've
you.
got 2 Democrats
Thank
being
you. Thank you,
primary.
Mr.
Why?
Anderson.
Because they're not following steps.
Mr. Gary Lenosi, I probably didn't say your name right. I'm going to bring you up when we talk about the solar field. So just sit tight. Is Michelle Bettig, you are in the room? You are. Welcome.
Michelle Batag, St. Charles. A new year. I'm very hopeful. Been coming here for over 3.5 years, witnessing the business going on here. I do believe the founding fathers would be quite upset about the daily business that goes on here. The county board originally was established for a very small governing body. Today, it's become a giant governing body that has taken on Springfield and the governor's wishes to control Kane County. The chair lady, unfortunately, has been lockstep with this mission. We do not need to make this bigger than it is. This is a board that is established to service the Kane County residents and to do a budget, establish a budget, live within your means, and not kill the taxpayers with burdening taxes. We are the number 28th highest in the country as of right now. I'm sure that might change. As we know, we have gone up to an expected 29 million in debt last year. We're beyond our means, $29 million this year, and anticipated $31 million. The last 3 years, we've dipped into our reserves. Reserves are depleting, and it is due in part of these big projects and cluelessness of people wanting to spend money. 2 board members are missing from this board right now. I am prayerful that the 2 people that take the place of, and then the people that win the election are financially minded, run businesses, have a fiscal background where they can help balance the budget and become fiscally responsible. I was listening to the last executive board meeting, and the chair has huge plans to make our health department into a social department of welfare, basically. Right now, you can go to the ER, or you can go online, or you can get services, but we're looking to take on more debt in Kane County and offer social free services at our $8 million, $15 million, $20 million health building. That was one of the projects that we had on the table last year, trying to build a government center for $110 million, in addition to the health building that we bought and now is way exceeding expenses, due in part to wanting to pay union donors back to Karine Parag, who's received tens of thousands of dollars in unions donations. I'm asking one of these board members to bring this responsible bidder ordinance back up that was passed in 2023. We have unions who are making money on the backs of Kane County citizens, and in return, donating back to the chair lady. Paybacks are burdening normal day citizens in Kane County. We have people who are unable to pay their mortgages,
Thank you.
huge
So-
credit card debts, and I'm asking.
Thank you. Denise Theobald.
Morning, everyone. Over the last week and accelerating into this one, we've seen a disturbing escalation of authoritarian overreach by our federal government. Many of us are still reeling and heartbroken by the killing of Renee Good by an ICE agent and what this represents in the country of ours. The reported disgusting and dehumanizing language used by the agent who killed Renee right after shooting her in the face 3 times, and this administration's immediate framing her as the terrorist should be a warning to us all. There's no comforting words left at this moment. We are seeing intentional efforts to divide this country, destabilize the economy, and punish blue states that do not politically align with this administration. We are one of those states. Just this week, the Trump administration froze billions of dollars from programs that support the most vulnerable neighbors. Temporary assistance for needy families, childcare assistance, social services for children, energy assistance, education, and healthcare. At the same time, Robert Kennedy is recklessly rewriting vaccine guidelines. So how will this county prepare for reducing the reduced federal support for our public health, safety, food assistance, housing, seniors, veterans, people in need? Where will the resources come from to meet this need? How will we prepare for economic downturn? Are we preparing for sustained instability coming from Washington, or are we hoping it won't reach us? What is the plan if federal agents return to our communities in large numbers, conducting aggressive enforcement actions like door to door and raiding homes like it is in Minneapolis? Will Kane County law enforcement adhere to the Trust Act? Will residents be protected from the unlawful actions? And if not, what does accountability look like? I appreciate that this board has moved forward with a county-wide strategic plan, and I commend that effort. It's needed. But a plan only matters if it reflects reality. It must anticipate and plan for catastrophic cuts and disruption, not just react after the harm has already been done. The people of Kane County ask this board not to be on its heels for the storm ahead, because it's coming. It needs to plan honestly, to work together and accept the reality that Kane County government needs revenue. We just can't keep cutting. We have to fiscally be responsible and be truthful about how to raise this revenue, because the local governments are going to be forced to take care of their own. In these times, planning for unexpected and
Time's
the
up. Thank you.
unimaginable is crucial. Let's not
Denise, time's up. Thank you. There we go. The next speaker is Ginger Romano. Good
Hello,
morning.
good
Ginger.
morning.
Morning.
Ginger Romano. As we move into 2026, I would hope that all board members and staff takes into consideration the people that fund this operation. The majority of funds you receive come from the people that earn their taxed dollars. I'd like you to take into account all of the administrative positions that I've noticed on the, I guess you could call it the corporate side of this organization. There's the CEOs, CFOs, presidents, vice presidents, assistant vice presidents, directors, assistant directors, assistant to assistants, etc. We're being heavily taxed in this state. I'm one that's actually stuck here looking at ways to cut my budget. I think you really need to look at yours, and now that we're going to be looking at 27, you have a great opportunity to see where you can tighten your belt. I'm also not happy about you spending my volunteered tax dollars to charities that I have no say in. And I recall one of the board members saying that they just loved giving away millions of dollars. And I thought, gee, if they had their own, would they be doing it? Would they be saying that for theirs? I'd like to give to my own charity, but I can't. So, and then people are blaming Trump for a lot of things, and yeah, he's got his bad points, but he did recently propose a cap on credit card interest. And I guess some people aren't aware either that for every relief of federal tax dollars that we have, the Illinois governor has increased or added taxes. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. All right. Oh, Mr. Surges has come. He is online. Do I have your permission to allow him in? Yes. Welcome, Cliff. Come on. There was a no vote, by the way.
It was a kidding. Kidding.
William Brogney.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is William Ranji of St. Charles. Our public comments today will be focusing on the short-term rental ordinance relative to the Kane County zoning code. Specifically, Chapter 25, Article 9, Section 1, residential land uses, Article 5, Section 15, interpretation of use lists, Article 4, Section 8, special uses, Article 5, Section 2, conflicting ordinances. We have provided the board with a printed copy of those provisions for your reference. First, I would like to draw your attention to Article 5, Section 2, conflicting ordinances. It clearly states that all ordinances or resolutions or parts thereof in conflict with the provisions herein set forth are hereby repealed insofar as they conflict. You are going to be told by members on the panel today that no part of this ordinance is in violation of the zoning code. You may judge that for yourselves. We believe that this is not true and that there are notable conflicts, not only with the letter of the zoning code, but certainly within its spirit. At the very least, there are questions that need to be answered before this ordinance moves forward. How does licensing transient lodging in residential communities with zero examination of the impact of a specific property will have on the community around it align with the stated purpose of the zoning code to promote the community's collective public health, safety, morals, comfort, and general welfare? Given the fact that short-term rentals universally make residential communities less desirable and lower surrounding property values, how do you justify sanctioning them when the zoning code requires that land use decisions be for the purpose of conserving the property values throughout our county? If a property owner has the right to do whatever he wants to with his property, as long as it is not expressly prohibited in the zoning code, then why does the zoning code provide a specific list of permitted uses? Why do supervised bed and breakfasts require a special use permit under the zoning code, but unsupervised short-term rentals do not? If a vehicle for identifying and regulating short-term rentals already exists within the current zoning code in the form of a special use permit, why do we need a separate licensing process? If portions of this ordinance are questionable under the current zoning code, why would you risk embarrassing the board and passing it today, only to have those portions of it automatically repealed under Article 5, Section 2 of the zoning code? The next two speakers will be discussing the specific provisions in the zoning code that could raise these questions. Madam Chair, thank you.
Much, thank you. Deanna Davidson. And ma'am, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you and good morning. My name is Deanna Davison. In Article 9, the zoning code makes clear that there are 3 categories into which all land uses fall: permitted, expressly prohibited, and special use. Article 9, Section 1 deals with residential district zoned estate, which is my neighborhood. Transient lodging is not expressly permitted, nor is it prohibited. So on page 3 of the handout you were given, you will note that bed and breakfast establishments are listed as a special use, triggering a requirement that a special use permit be obtained by the owner. At some point in time, the county determined that transient lodging, even with a property owner on the premises, does not comport with the intended use for residential neighborhoods. So how in the world do you argue that a completely unsupervised property that is outsourced by an absentee property owner somehow does align with residential use? One of our primary contentions with this ordinance is what, by your own admission at last week's meeting, is a lack of discretionary authority to take into account the unique features of a potential STR property relative to the community that it is in. The special use permit exists for exactly that purpose. In Article 4, Section 8.1 and 2, it stipulates that special use permits provide consideration in each case of the impact of those uses upon neighboring land and of the public need for the particular use in the particular location, and consider whether those things are desirable for the public welfare. A public hearing is required prior to approval to ascertain these things and give community members a voice. Under the proposed ordinance, we are denied that due process, and all approval decisions are made by an unelected zoning commission. The zoning ordinance before you today is entirely predicated on the state's attorney's claim that non-prohibited land uses are by default permissible and considered the property rights of the owner. However, according to Article 5, Section 15, quote, non-listed uses shall not be approved until the application for such use has been reviewed by the county development department staff and a favorable report has been received by the enforcing officer. This ordinance willfully bypasses all of those guardrails. By working within the zoning code and issuing special use permits for transient lodging, our residential communities are preserved, You have a mechanism for identifying these properties, and STR property owners are able to thrive in the locations where they actually belong. But arbitrarily selling short-term rental licenses for $200 denies every resident homeowner in unincorporated Kane County the due process protections we are entitled to and rightfully expected when we purchased our homes. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mary Davison. Mary, welcome.
I'm Mary, whoops. Sorry about that. Good morning. My name is Mary Davison, and I'm speaking to the STR situation as well. I believe the committees and the board have and are voting on a shallow, short-sighted ordinance that lacks substance and does not address the foundational questions that have been presented at these many meetings regarding STRs in unincorporated Kane County. The defining concerns do not pertain to noise levels, number of smoke detectors, bathrooms, trespassing, etc. This $200 license is a welcome mat to any private, corporate, or foreign investor to purchase any house in any neighborhood. It would seem that absentee property owners have many perks in Kane County. The resident homeowners who are invested in their neighborhood, community, and county are in effect penalized. It is left to them to have their home life disrupted by a constant stream of transient people and to suffer substantial loss of property value. The county makes the ordinance, but makes no definitive provision for monitoring or enforcement. The business of STRs is on the rise. It's serious, and it deserves to be treated as such. This incomplete ordinance being pushed through to check a box and to placate the resident homeowners. I'd like to just say that something is not always better than nothing. Thank you.
Thank you. The last speaker today is Mr. Shepro, Ken Shepro. Oh, hold on a second, Ken. Hold on a second. Janine, I found it. Come on up. And then Ken, you'll be next. Pages stuck together.
Good morning. I want to speak today about how the board so-called balanced the 2026 budget. When you strip away the language and look at the numbers, the majority of the budget gap was closed through 3 separate tax increases, totaling approximately $10 million. The budget was balanced by these 3 actions: the maximum property tax increase for the 2nd year in a row, a 60% increase in the county gas tax, now among the highest in Illinois, and the imposition of a new grocery tax on everybody's food purchases. These were policy choices, not inevitabilities. This approach sends a clear message to taxpayers. When spending pressures arise, taxes go up first before looking at the spending cuts. What especially is troubling is how these decisions were presented to the public. We hear terms like adjustments, shifting plans, and balanced budget. Yet the reality includes transportation dollars diverted away from transportation, capital spending reductions that simply defer costs, and the potential use of reserves to support ongoing operations. A budget is not truly balanced if reoccurring spending depends on one-time tactics, fluid diversions, and postponed expenses that resurface later, often at a higher cost. There were also public commitments made that were not honored. Reconsideration of the maximum property tax increase and the reconsideration of a proposed board pay increase. When promises are made and quietly abandoned, public trust erodes. And experience shows what often follows this kind of budgeting is that we will have supplemental emergency spending requests later in the year once the public attention has faded. Before asking taxpayers for another dollar, this board should be able to answer one simple question. What permanent spending was reduced before permanent taxes were raised? If the honest answer is very little, then this approach is not sustainable and it isn't fair. I urge the board to change course. No more automatic tax increases. No more form over substance budgeting. No more treating taxpayers as the path of least resistance. Taxation should never be the easiest solution because taxpayers are not the least important stakeholder. They are the most important stakeholder. They are the reason this board exists. Thank you.
Now our last speaker is Mr. Shepro.
Good morning, Ken Shepro, Kane County historian. I'm on the agenda for later on, but this is my semi-quincentennial minute. And also the first of the month, you'll see the poster up there for January, is Thomas Paine, who is the author of the pamphlet Common Sense, which was published January 10th, 1776, and immediately took the country by storm. It was an instant bestseller. It was published anonymously. It set forth in simple English all of the arguments against trying to reconcile with Britain and the reasons for independence, and became a tool in the hands of those that had already decided that the government in Great Britain was not interested in compromise. So the quincentennial minute is where we left in December. General Knox was trying to haul his 48 heavy guns from Fort Ticonderoga to get to Boston. And he had gotten as far as Albany by Christmas Day, but he had to cross the Hudson River to get to the other side. Unfortunately, 2 feet of snow fell that day. He reached Albany the next day slowed by significant snow on the ground. He had the idea that they were going to try to locate and find equipment to get across from the south of Lake George. Unfortunately, the snowfall, although it was sufficient to move the trains carrying the guns south from Lake George, the river was too thin to move it across the Hudson. He tried to accelerate overland, but the ice was too thin to move it. They tried to accelerate the process of thickening the river ice by pouring additional water on top of the ice. The first of the cannon arrived at Albany by January 4th, but some cannon had crashed through the ice into the river on the way to Albany, and again crossing it headed west toward Massachusetts. In every instance, however, the cannon were recovered. On January 9th, the last of the cannon had crossed the Hudson, and Knox rode ahead to oversee the next stage of the journey. That is to be reported on as he proceeds on his way. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Just as a comment for transition, if any of you have visited New York and know the width of the Hudson, it is a enormous river. It is not the Fox River. So for them to try to pull ice on top of it, it is remarkably aspirational. All right, thank you. Thank you for that interesting bit of history, and thank you to all of our speakers for taking time out of your day for your thoughtful comments. All right, so now it's on to my comments, and we have a number of recognitions today, including the birthday of Kane County. So with that, I'd like to bring Mr. Shepro back up to celebrate our 190th anniversary of the birth of Kane County.
Good morning. So, happy non-agenda centennial. You don't have to actually worry about the word. AI says that isn't a real word, but it is a good Latin attempt to try 190. I like the symmetry of the Roman numeral, which is 190 at the top. So this presentation is an attempt, and I'll try to go quickly, to give you a brief history of what led to the creation of Kane County on January the 16th, 1836. Okay. So originally, this part of the country was claimed by Virginia and other states after the peace treaty that ended the French and Indian War. And in fact, the area where we are now was actually part of the claim of Connecticut. They claimed that their charter gave them everything from the Atlantic straight through to the Pacific Ocean. And they maintained that claim until the 1780s, as we will see. In 1778, the state of Virginia created a county to govern the Illinois country that they held, but it proved to be almost impossible for Virginia to carry out governing all the way to the Mississippi River, where there were very few inhabitants. And in 1784, they ceded their claim to the United States. Thus, the Northwest Territory was established in 1784. The other states also ceded their claims. You can see from the map where Connecticut and Massachusetts and Virginia all extended their claims into the state of Illinois, or actually even into Wisconsin. Jefferson wrote a plan that would allow the territory to become states, and he proposed 7 or 8 names for the states, which I won't bore you with, but they were places like Sylvania and simply states like that. In writing his history of Kane County in 1908, Frank Joslin said, "We can be grateful to Congress that every one of Jefferson's suggestions for names of new states was rejected." So in 1787 was the landmark Northwest Ordinance adopted by the Continental Congress. The highlights of the ordinance are really 2 things. One is slavery would be prohibited in the areas of the Northwest Territory, which was all the areas sort of northwest of the Ohio River and west of the 1763 annexation line, and also provided for land to be dedicated for public schools. But the slavery issue was paramount. And this just highlights it's also provided for not more than 5 or fewer than 3 states to be carved out once they got to 60,000 inhabitants. And as you could see at the bottom, they had a Bill of Rights protecting religious freedom, the right to writ of habeas corpus, the benefit of trial by jury, and individual rights, in addition to encouraging education and forbidding slavery, all before the adoption of the Constitution. So this continued for a while. The Illinois country became part of the new Indiana Territory. But in 1809, after receiving petitions from settlers along the Mississippi River that the Indiana territorial government wasn't responsive, Congress established the Illinois Territory. George Rogers Clark capture of Fort Kaskaskia in 1779 is one of the things that allowed the new United States to get the Mississippi River as a boundary. Well, that didn't satisfy the Illinois residents either. And in 1817, the newly created Illinois territory was now demanding statehood. And the big issue of the day was again slavery. Ninian Edwards, who was the territorial governor and later became the first United States senator, vetoed legislation that would have repealed the territory's indenture laws. More about that in a moment. Illinois' territorial delegate at that time in Congress was Nathaniel Pope, who's named for Polk County, and his nephew, Daniel Polk Cook, who was the clerk of the U.S. House of Representatives. They were both violently anti-slavery, and they were concerned that there was going to need to be some help in Washington to get the statehood bill through. Pope was able to obtain a number of crucial amendments, the one that extended the state's boundary far to the north. Otherwise, today we would be in Wisconsin. He had the line moved at the last minute to its current state line from its old line at the southern end of Lake Michigan, as you can see. So the statehood bill was signed by President Monroe, allowing Illinois to reach a population of at least 40,000. Remember, the Constitution said 60,000. That was only 2/3 of the threshold needed for statehood, but it still proved difficult. As you can see, they took a census. They could only come up with 34,000 people by their deadline. And then they just decided, well, we're going to keep the returns open. And by the convention, they reported a total of 40,000. But you can see the historian has described this census as a series of frauds, which included counting the 600 residents of Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, as residents of Illinois. And there's a comment from your local historian. But on April 18th, they did proceed, and the state constitutional convention met in Kaskaskia on the Ohio or on the Mississippi River. So now we come to Elias Kent Kane. Although the convention had 39 members, he was the youngest. He was only 24. He was already a judge. He was the youngest member of the convention, a lawyer. He had come to Illinois from Tennessee, and he basically took over and ran the convention. The delegates were all mostly from southern part of the state. I mean, like the extreme southern part of the state. Springfield was not yet even a village. But he basically ran the convention, drafted the document. He made, it says 34 of the known 134 motions. So that maybe some of you will find that familiar. Thomas Ford, who was later governor, described him as the convention's principal member. He was on the drafting committee that wrote the Constitution, and then one of 3 members that was assigned to review the debates to make sure that what was in there was what he wanted. So it consisted of 8 articles, was it modeled after other state constitutions, severely limited the powers of the governor, set sign in every township for schools. But it was not submitted to the voters, it was simply sent to Congress. 34 members of the House of Representatives voted against admitting Illinois because they believed the Constitution did not go far enough to prohibit slavery. Nevertheless, both of the House and Senate approved. President Monroe signed the legislation on December 3rd, 1818. The Constitutional Convention was dominated by pro-slavery delegates, who, most of them from Kentucky. They'd brought their slaves with them. Kane argued, though, that Congress would never approve admission if slavery were allowed in their Constitution. Instead, he had a compromise, prohibiting slavery but allowing indentured servitude. So slaves brought by their owners to Kentucky would be offered 99-year indentured servitude contracts. They could sign and remain, or they would be sent back across the Ohio. So the delegates accepted this so-called compromise. After statehood, he led an effort to call a convention to revise the Constitution to permit slavery. But anti-slavery Governor Edward Coles campaigned against the change, and the voters rejected Kane's plan. So in 1818, at statehood, we were part of Crawford County, which is considerably reduced in its current status, you can see. While Southern Illinois saw lots of settlers, this whole area was still the exclusive preserve of the native population. No white settlers were in this area. Then along came the Black Hawk War. Black Hawk War became Chief Black Hawk of the Sauk and the Fox tried to get a rising of the Indians because they had been dispossessed of their land in this area and were being sent to live west of the Mississippi River. He tried to rally local Potawatomi and Wabansi tribe members, but Shabona, who is the chief of the Potawatomis and Wabansi, both objected, refused to go along with it, and he started the war all by himself. The Army Trail Road, which goes right by my house, was the road that was taken by General Winfield Scott when the Washington was asked to send regular troops out to this area to fight Chief Black Hawk. They never found him, at least in this state. They did have a cholera epidemic in Chicago, but they eventually managed to march down Army Trail Road, cross the Fox River north of St. Charles, and began hunting down Chief Black Hawk. Meanwhile, settlers had begun to arrive in Kane County. This is a painting of Caneville Township's early wagon train settlers. So now we get to December 12th, 1835. Senator Elias Kent Kane, serving his second term, died in Washington, D.C. A few weeks later, the Illinois legislature named Illinois' recent county carved out of LaSalle in honor of the deceased statesman who, as we know, never visited Kane County. Governor Joseph Duncan signs the bill establishing Kane County, January 16th. And this is a map of Illinois' counties in 1836. You can see Kane is a square, had 36 townships, congressional townships at the time, being 36 square miles on each side. And they were then selecting where to meet. So they met at, this is very confusing, folks. The La Fox, which is now Geneva, was called La Fox, was the post office. James Harrington had a tavern and an inn, and he had the only post office in the county, and he was the postmaster. 200 citizens petitioned the circuit judge to appoint 3 commissioners to hold the first county elections. Harrington's Tavern was selected as the first county courthouse. And on June 4th, 180 men gathered at Harrington's Tavern to elect officials for the new county. 3 commissioners, a sheriff, a recorder, deed surveyor. The vote was taken orally. So each resident was required to stand and announce his vote. And the 3 commissioners were Solomon Dunham, Eli Barnes, and Mr. Morgan, whose first name seems to be lost to history. David Dunham was the recorder. Mark Fletcher was the county surveyor, although Solomon Dunham was actually the first person to survey. And in the 1836 election, Kane County had its first election. There were 235 Democrats for Martin Van Buren, who was elected president, and William Henry Harrison got 93. I believe there were no early votes and no mail-in ballots. And in 1837, the 18 Western townships were taken by a vote of the people to become part of the new DeKalb County. The 3 southernmost townships became part of Kendall County. This is Solomon Dunham's residence. He moved here in 1832, built this house in 1835. Some of you will recognize this as the Dunham Woods Riding Club, one of the oldest residences in Kane County. There's his grave in the Little Wood Cemetery. And this is what his youngest son did, is to create the largest Percheron horse farm in the United States. And up at the top in the center, that little house is my house. So a few closing thoughts. This goes back to the time of what happened to the native settlers. Shabona warned Black Hawk against war, didn't take his advice, and Shabona then spent the next several weeks and months going across northern Illinois, warning settlers that the Indians were coming and trying to prevent massacres of settlers. Despite being known as a friend, Shabona and the Potawatomi were expelled from their homes in September of 1836. Honored by the settlers, he received a $200 a year yearly pension from the War Department, and he was allowed to return to his former home in DeKalb County. In my youthful days, I have seen large herds of buffalo on these prairies, but they are here no more. For hundreds of miles, no white man lived, and now settlers are found throughout the county. In a few years, the smoke from their cabin will ascend from every grove. The armies of the whites are without number, like the sands of the sea. They used to have meetings under a tree that was located in Johnson Mountain Forest Preserve near Elburn. There continued to be litigation for a century over the Potawatomi lands in DeKalb County. On March 21st, 2025, Governor Pritzker signed legislation returning Shabona Lake State Park in DeKalb to the Potawatomi Nation.
Very nice. Thank you. And that was very lovely. Thank you so much for your research. Well done. Very well done. So if everyone can, if you got a cup of coffee or you got just something, happy birthday, Kane County. Happy birthday. 190 years. Unbelievable. I did note when Illinois was first formed, that you had to be a resident here for 6 months, and you did not necessarily have to be a United States citizen, and you had to be a male. So all of those things are notable facts. And all of that has changed. Females can vote, and you have to be a US citizen.
One more notable fact, where the Army was at Winfield Scott, I believe, when they crossed the Fox River at Black Hawk Park, which is now John Dewar Park, there are a couple of graves there from some soldiers who were crossing at that point. It's worth a visit. John Dewar Park.
Where is this again?
John Dewar Park.
Oh, yes, of course, of course, of course. Once again, going through a river. All right, so we have got some recognitions, and I was requested because the young man is a student and has to return back to school. And he is here on leave from his school. So with your permission, I'd like to move proclamation recognizing the passage of House Bill 3281 to this point in our meeting, so that we can talk about Kenshin's Law. And I will turn this over to like Ms. Mosser's at the podium. So please, Ms. Mosser, you can take the lead on this.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yeah.
May I move,
In a second, absolutely.
may I move GUMS here TMP 26-075 and request a second?
Okay, thank you. All right.
Thank you. State's Attorney Jamie Mosser. I'm not going to go into the details of the law because you've already heard me talk about it, but it makes a very important change to the Illinois Domestic Violence Act, which did not distinguish between adults that commit domestic violence and juveniles that commit domestic violence. And so 3 years ago, through State Representative Matt Hansen, I asked him to propose a bill that would differentiate that, because the law before mandated that anytime there was domestic violence, the police officers had to make an arrest. Now, they did that obviously because in the 80s, when this law was passed, people were not being arrested for domestic violence because it was considered a family issue. And that left victims in this perpetual cycle of violence. And so the law was passed intending for our officers to be mandated to make these arrests, which made sweeping changes in our domestic violence laws. Now, the problem is then they didn't think about that effect of what would happen if a juvenile committed domestic violence. And we were all young once. We all know what that means. And we know that sometimes there is a fight between siblings. But when police are called, police had to make an arrest. They didn't have the discretion not to do so. They didn't have the discretion to look at of the facts of every single case. And so that's why I put forth the proposal to change the Illinois Domestic Violence Act. Now, I started this process 3 years ago and didn't get a lot of traction, even though this is exactly what we need in the law. The time that I got the traction was when I was able to put a face to this law. And that face is Kenton and his story. I'm very excited to say that the reason why I met Kenton was because of his school resource officer, Elgin Police Officer Martin Vega, who's here today, because we happened to have a conversation after an event about juvenile laws, because he was very invested in the schools that he was a part of and very invested in the students. And he told me about Kenton. Kenton had had a physical fight with his brother. The police were called and he was arrested. And it's something that he should not have been arrested for, but the officer had to do it because of the law. And I'm going to let Kenton tell a little bit of his story as he goes through all of this. But it was when I finally was able to talk to legislators and say, here is a person who is so negatively affected by this law that it had such an effect, not only on him, but also on his family, because he's joined today by his mother and his grandparents who are over here. It had such an effect on him that I was able to finally convince the legislature that this is what we need to do. And then we unanimously passed this and it went into law now. And so I'm very proud to say that the reason why is because Kenton stepped up, because at his age, he wanted people to know and he wanted to make a difference. And so I'd like everybody to look at him because he's pretty amazing right now. He's going to change the world with everything that he's doing. He's learning fire science right now. He really wants to be involved in the community. And I have to tell you, he is an amazing singer. His band, Really Big Moose, which is a sticker on my county laptop, is wonderful. I went to see it in East Dundee, right? That's where we were. It was impressive. So he's going to really change the world. And so that's why I put forth this proclamation. Would you like me to read the proclamation now, or would you guys like to hear from Kenton?
I'd like to hear from Kenton and then we can read the proclamation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kenton. First, I'd like to start by just thanking Ms. Mosser, my school resource officer, Mr. Vega, and my mother, as well as my grandparents for being here today. Let me move this mic. I'd also like to say that everyone deserves a chance to be heard. Everyone deserves a chance to be seen. We all may make mistakes in life, and it's about how we bounce back from our mistakes, not about the mistakes that we make specifically. Could you just help me, which part specific?
Oh, no, you're just talking about your story.
Oh.
I'll read that.
All right, cool. But yeah, so I had a short, very brief fight with my brother over something as small and dumb as a t-shirt. Yeah, I hear some laughs. I see some laughs going on. And over that, I was arrested. I was put in the back of a police car and I was taken to the Kane County Juvenile Courthouse for a weekend, which I felt was just wrong. I felt as though I, as I said, hadn't gotten a chance to be heard, to be seen, and to be spoken to the same way that the officer had maybe spoke to my brother or spoke to other parties on the scene. I just, through this, hope that other children, no matter how old or maybe just barely becoming adults, can get chances to make mistakes, but bounce back from them and get chances to apologize. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
And the other impressive part about this is that Officer Vega had heard that Kenton was arrested and found him in school after it all happened and talked to him and explained why he had to be arrested, because otherwise officers could lose their job, because this is what the law is. So it took the time of a police officer who truly cares about his community and the kids that he serves to talk to Kenton about what happened. And then it took a conversation between Officer Vega and I to be able to push this law forward. So I don't know if you'd like to say anything.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for having us here. Yeah. So Kenton actually, I've known Kenton and his family for a long time, since my first year at Larkin High School. Actually, Mom and I talk about this all the time. His older sister Kylie, when I first started, kind of made me question if I wanted to stick around at Larkin. But those, it was a good challenge. And then, and now I actually have Kent and Cam, the brother, he got into it about the t-shirt, but also thanks to his social worker for helping him out too at school, Miss Smiley, Katie Smiley, Miss Berg now. She might be watching on YouTube. She wanted to make it, but she's not feeling well. But thanks to her, and that's kind of what we do at Larkin. We just kind of, it's a community, it's a team effort, truly. And when I found out, Kenton got into it, I was like, oh geez, let's figure out what's going on. And Kenton had a lot of ideas, and I just told Kenton, listen, man, this is great, but laws are laws, and you gotta, talk to your elected officials. Those are the ones that can make the changes. We just enforce them. And I told him, I said, if I ever get the chance to meet someone and tell your story, I will. And lo and behold, I got to meet Jamie, like she said, at an event, and we talked about it, and here we are. So I'm really proud of Kenton. He is truly a great kid. I've told you this time and time again, man, I'm so proud of you, and I've enjoyed our conversations, and you're gonna do great things. So thank you.
Thank you. And Jamie, we have to recognize the parents and the grandparents because they're here. Mom is here. And great children really come from great parents. Sometimes they're an anomaly, right? but there's always a deep love and compassion. As a mom, thank you. Thank you for standing up for your son, and grandparents. Thank you so much for being a strong part of your family. It's so critically important to have that family love and structure. So thank you.
It is wonderful. And I got to meet Kelly when I went to go see Really Big Moose because I had said I was going to be there. And when I showed up, Kelly's like, I didn't think politicians actually told the truth about doing things, which is a fair point. I'm not going to disagree with it. So,
Madam Chair,
but she's been that support person and the grandparents for Kenton and his brother and sister. And without that, we wouldn't be here today. And she gave permission for Kenton to share his story statewide at this point. Okay. So without further ado, this is the proclamation recognizing the passage of House Bill 3281, known as Kenton's Law, and the contributions of Kenton and his family. Whereas since 1986, the Illinois Domestic Violence Act has required law enforcement officers to make arrests in nearly all domestic violence cases, including those involving juvenile offenders. And whereas recognizing that there are long-term negative consequences when juveniles are arrested, State's Attorney Jamie Mosser proposed legislation to State Representative Matthew Hansen, who introduced House Bill 3281 in the 104th General Assembly to amend the Illinois Domestic Violence Act and distinguish between adults and juveniles, and ended the mandated arrest of juveniles accused of domestic violence. And whereas amending the Illinois Domestic Violence Act through House Bill 3281 was critical because it would allow law enforcement officers to assess each situation involving juveniles and determine when intervention rather than arrest is the appropriate response. And whereas many individuals provided assistance during the legislative process to support House Bill 3281, including Kenton, a 16-year-old boy who had been previously arrested for a domestic violence offense and had experienced long-term consequences following that arrest. And whereas Kenton was connected with State's Attorney Mosser by a school resource officer, and after learning about House Bill 3281, Kenton provided crucial help to pass this legislation so no one else would have to experience what he and his family had experienced. And whereas on May 30th, 2025, the Illinois General Assembly unanimously passed House Bill 3281, which was signed into law by Governor J.B. Pritzker, becoming Public Act 104-290, effective on November 13th of 2025. And whereas following the passage of House Bill 3281, law enforcement officers in Illinois now have discretion to use the adolescent domestic battery typology tool to assess and divert juveniles involved in domestic violence matters to social services better equipped to address their needs. Now it therefore be proclaimed that this County Board of Kane County, Illinois recognized the passage of House Bill 3281, Kenton's Law, and expresses gratitude for the contributions of Kenton, his family, and all other individuals and their organizations who provided critical support to this important amendment that reflects a developmentally appropriate approach to juvenile justice. having been hopefully passed soon today on January 13th, 2026.
Say thank you and go Bears. Rams this weekend.
All right, could you please, we have a photograph. All righty, the pictures are being taken. Clerk, could you call the roll, please?
Allen, Arroyo,
Yes.
Bates, Garcia,
Yes.
Gripe,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal, Juby,
Aye.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis, Linder, Molina,
Molina, yes.
Genesis,
Genesis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges, Carver,
Tarver, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
passes.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, with all the hugs and signs of a deep appreciation. We have two other things. I know this is a long time going through all of this, but this is a time of celebration. We have, besides the 190th anniversary, the next one I'd like to bring up is the recognition of the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the Office of Emergency Management. So who'd like to move that, please?
Roth would move it.
Strathman will second.
Thank you, Mr. Strathman, Mr. Penesis. All right, here we go. Scott.
Good morning. I'm not sure how to follow that, but I'll try. So I want to give a quick history lesson, although more recent than Mr. Sheprose. From the end of World War II through the early 1970s, what we now know as emergency management was known as civil defense. And its primary mission was to protect the civilian population from the effects of war, primarily a nuclear attack during the Cold War. They did mass warning, evacuation, and education. In the mid-1970s, the mission had shifted from the narrower Cold War mission to an all-hazards approach we now use. And in 1975, the Illinois Emergency Services and Disaster Agency was created, and city and county officials were then allowed to apply for disaster aid when needed. So on January 13th, 1976, 50 years ago today, the Kane County Board, through Ordinance 1976-12, created the Kane County ESDA, which later, through a couple name changes, became the current Office of Emergency Management. So we're here with staff and volunteers as well to mark the occasion. So during 2026, we'll be honoring that history and trying to look back at, see what things have been done and share some of that through social media and some other things. So we have a strong history of volunteerism, and I have a number of volunteers here to celebrate this. And in true volunteer fashion, I had two other volunteers that were going to come today, and they peeled off when Cook County requested ground searchers for a search for a man been missing for about 6 weeks in Cook County. So they peeled off for that, and they asked, can they go to that rather than coming here? And I said, absolutely. That's the mission. So I appreciate we have just over 60 volunteers. The last year, fiscal year, they volunteered almost 14,000 hours, which if you put an hourly figure on that, it comes out to about $471,000. So closing in on $500,000 per year. So really great things being done, more than I can mention in 2 minutes here.
Well, thank you. And who's here? Do you want to introduce your staff and or volunteers? Could they stand up? Be
Yeah, I
recognized?
could have them stand. I'll read their names, no particular order. Just raise your hand. Ryan McGraw, Jenny Estes, Steve Lopez, Jeff Wong, Jim Doris, Regina Doris, Brian Pechtold, Catherine Flynn, Rod Simon, and Mike Hudek. And then I had staff, Ryan Alford had to go to a meeting, and Nicole Sprague and Dan Nelson are here for my office.
Well, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all,
You all.
for your volunteerism. And, would you like to read?
Sure.
Proclamation?
Proclamation recognizing the 50th anniversary of Kane County Emergency Management. Whereas modern emergency management began in the civil defense era when communities built coordinated systems for alerts, public sheltering, and community readiness during the times of heightened international tension during the Cold War. And whereas by the 1970s, as the nation shifted to an all hazards focus on natural disasters, Illinois encouraged counties to establish their emergency organizations. Whereas on January 13th, 1976, the Kane County Board created the Emergency Services and Disaster Agency, or ESDA, to coordinate preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigation countywide. And whereas the agency later became the Kane County Office of Emergency Management to reflect its broader mission and closer integration with public safety partners. And whereas OEM has led major response and recovery efforts, including the 1996 flood, which caused 6 fatalities and more than 600 million in property damage, and supported the countywide response to COVID-19. And whereas OEM continues to build community resilience through the Kane County Natural Hazards Mitigation Plan, public education, and partnerships with municipal fire, law enforcement, public health, hospitals, public works, schools, and voluntary agencies. And whereas the agency staff and volunteers carry forward a legacy of service that began in the civil defense facilities and continues today with modern systems and coordinated countywide response. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Kane County Board that January 13, 2026 is hereby recognized as the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the Kane County Emergency Management, and all residents are encouraged to recognize this milestone by learning more about emergency preparedness and participating in these community resilience initiatives.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you guys and gals. So, we're about ready to take a photo that I'd like to, be part of. But I'd like the clerk to call the roll, please.
Allen, Arroyo, Bates, Garcia,
Yes.
Gripe,
Ripe, yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Juby,
Yeah.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Linder, Molina,
Molina, yes.
Hennessis,
Hennessis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman,
Yes.
Surgis,
Yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Tepe,
Deppie, yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Young, passes.
Last one. Last one.
I'm Chair Gums, if I may, before they leave the room.
Yes, please.
I just wanted to,
Everybody, hold on a second. We have a board.
before
member
you
who'd like
walk
to
out the door,
recognize you.
hold on. I just wanted to say, a lot of folks that are not familiar with what you all do, I want to thank you. You touch so many different areas. I have the luxury of knowing those things, but a lot of people don't. So I'm very excited that people are going to start getting educated in what you actually do, because they probably never know that they've had contact with you. But I recognize that, and I know all the board members in the chair especially, but I'm looking forward to people actually knowing what you do and how many lives you're affecting by doing that. We could do it without you.
So thank you. Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes, ma'am. Scott, hold on a second. Yeah, there he is. Oh, could you put the mic on? There you go.
Yes, there we go. Sorry. Scott, could you just describe briefly the training that our folks go through? And the reason I ask that is that Madam Chairman has referred to these people as our professional volunteers, which I think after this training, they certainly are.
Yeah, so when new volunteers come on, typically we start that in April of every year, and they meet one Wednesday night a month, and then some other nights, some weekends, and it goes through the end of October. So it's about 6 months of training. I'm not sure how many hours, but every Wednesday night, 2 to 3 hours, and home study. There's online classes. It's really incredible what that group of people do, and that's all before they can actually do the work. And they have to learn all these things, and at some point we call them field ready, and they can go out in the field and start taking calls with experienced members, and they build up to that. And we have people that stay with us for more than 20 years. And it's just amazing. And when they do that, and I feel inadequate that I can say thanks. It just doesn't feel like enough. So we try to have dinners and cookouts and things to thank them and make sure they know they're appreciated. But they're really a great group of people that do really great work that most of the public doesn't know what they are. Not like they do. Everyone knows what the fire department is and the police department, and this is more unknown. But we try to share the information and the great work that they're doing. So I'm so appreciative, and I'm just the one that I lead it, but they're the ones doing all the work out in the field. And it's so great. I can't even, that words don't do it justice.
Thank you. Okay.
If I can follow up, the fact is
Just very quickly.
The fact is that most of us have brushed shoulders with our professional volunteers. They're called out to help with control automobile accidents, or if a power line is down. Or have you ever gone to a festival in a village and asked where the parking was, or where the next event was? Because those folks are there helping there as well. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you again, Scott. Look forward to seeing everybody on Friday. All right, the last proclamation is one that is probably the most notable because of this experiment we call democracy is now 250 years old this year. And I'd like to have a motion and a second to recognize the fact that America is going to be celebrating her 200 because of Lady Liberty, her 250th anniversary.
Great move.
Thank you, Mr. Gripe. Second, please.
Linder.
Mr. Linder. Who would like to read this? Roth.
All right. Bring it up here.
Because I voted, I nominate Mr. Gripe.
Whereas the United States of America will commemorate its 250th anniversary on July 4th, 2026, marking a historic milestone in the nation's history. And whereas on July 4th, 1776, the Second Continental Congress formally adopted the Declaration of Independence, asserting the American colonies' freedom from British rule and laying the foundation for the principles of democracy and self-government. And whereas the United States Sesquicentennial Commission, known as the America 250 Commission, was established by Congress in 2016 to plan the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, and the Illinois American 250 Commission was created to promote a statewide commemoration that celebrates Illinois' contributions and engages communities across the state. And whereas Kane County was incorporated on January 16th, 1836, and will itself celebrate its 190th anniversary in 2026, making this year a special milestone as we honor our history while participating in a nationwide celebration. And whereas Kane County recognizes the importance of these historic moments and invites residents, organizations, and local institutions to engage in an educational programs and celebratory activities in the months leading up to July 4th, 2026. And whereas just as the Declaration of Independence was first publicly read to the people on July 8th, 1776, Americans across all 50 states and U.S. territories will come together 250 years later to read the Declaration of Independence simultaneously, and Kane County will take part in this nationwide commemoration beginning at 5 p.m. on July 8th, 2026. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Kane County Board formally honors the 250th anniversary of the United States of America and joins all Kane County communities in celebrating our nation's history, highlighting Illinois' contributions, and commemorating Kane County's 190-year legacy.
Here, here, here. Are any comments on this? Yes.
Anywhere on earth.
Thank you. Well read, Mr. Gripe. Yesterday, just a quick anecdote. I met a gentleman who was from Sugar Grove, and he was wondering where the historic preservation team was meeting. And so he started talking to me, and I introduced myself and mentioned about the 250th anniversary. And he said, hold on a second. So he pulls out his phone, starts shooting through, and he mentioned, oh, here, there was a tree that fell down in Bliss Woods, Sugar Grove, and through the forest preserve, of course. And he said they counted all of the rings on this particular tree. It was a bur oak, I believe, and it was 250 years old. So we got into a conversation about this tree and what we're going to do with the tree. And so he's going to approach the forest preserve, which he may already have, to do slices of the tree for preservation and then to denote the 250 years of the progression of the United States from the very onset. So I hope the members of the Forest Preserve will consider supporting this effort. I also, with your graciousness, I would like to have Kane County government have a part of that cut or just an additional cut so that we, not just for the Forest Preserve, but so the county can also commemorate a tree that has been growing here for 250 years as a commemoration. Apparently, it'll take per inch of cut, it'll take 1 year to dry out unless someone has a kiln large enough to put it into a drying rack. So that, I'll leave that up to the Forest Preserve and the president of the Forest Preserve to figure that one out. But that was a very touching and notable remembrance of the beginning of Kane County. So we are going to have that celebration, and I will keep you posted as to where that's going to be and where the reading is going to be and how we're going to be structuring and organizing that. So I will, as it progresses, I'll let you know and keep you all posted with all the details. So that ends our celebration. And the vote on this, we have to thank you. The vote needs to happen on supporting America.
Allen,
Aye.
Arroyo, Bates,
Yes.
Garcia, Gripe,
Gripe, yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Well, yes.
Juby,
Aye.
Tyus,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Linder,
Leonard, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Hennessis,
This is yes.
Roth,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman,
Yes.
Surgis,
Burgess, yes.
Tarver, yes.
Tepe,
Yes.
Williams, Young,
Yes.
passes.
All right, we are going to be moving forward to our consent agenda. And I would like to ask, does anybody like to take a 5-minute personal break?
Yes.
Yes.
Chair, I'll make a motion to recess for 5 minutes.
Okay, and second, please. All in favor?
Aye.
So it's 11:16. I'll see you back about 11:20. Leslie and I were.
You don't.
So was I.
Yeah, I
She was the baby. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring this meeting back to order, please. We've got interesting things to talk about. We've got to wait for our clerk to come back in. Here she comes. Thank you. All right, when you're ready, could you call the roll, please?
Allen. Arroyo. Bates.
Oh.
Garcia.
Here.
Gripe.
With the
Here.
A's go.
Gums. Iqbal.
Iqbal present.
Juby. Juby here. Caius.
Guy is present.
Leonard. Linder.
Here.
Molina.
Molina present.
Hennessis.
This is here.
Roth.
Roth.
Here.
Sanchez.
Sanchez present.
Strathman.
Present.
Surgis.
Sturgis present.
Tarver.
Tarver's here.
Tepe.
Steppy here.
Williams. Young. You have a quorum in the room.
Okay, very, very good. We cracked a couple of the windows open, just get some fresh air in here. If it gets too cold, please close them. It's bothering you. All righty. Would anybody like to remove an item from the consent agenda?
Oh,
Madam Chair. Madam Chair, this is Caius. I hate to burst your bubble, but I would like to remove 26-002.
Number again, please. 26-002.
02.
Thank you. All right, I'm looking to my right. Is there anybody on my right? Any board member? Nothing to the left now. Anybody on the left? Okay, Mr. Surgis, you're quiet, Ms. Molina? All right, very good. May I have a motion and a second to approve the items on the consent agenda, removing resolution 26-002?
Sanchez moves.
Tarver
you.
seconds.
Okay, okay. Call the roll, please.
Allen. Arroyo. Bates.
Here.
Garcia.
Garcia here.
Yes.
Gripe, yes.
Iqbal.
Iqbal, yes.
Juby. Caius.
Guys, yes.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Lewis.
Lewis, yes.
Linder.
Linder, yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes.
Hennessis.
Hennessis, yes.
Roth.
Roth, yes.
Sanchez.
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman.
Yes.
Surgis.
Sturgis, yes, and go team. Look at us.
Tarver.
Tarver, yes.
Tepe.
Steppy, yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Consent agenda is passed. May I now have a motion, a second, to discuss item number 26-002?
This is Caius. I would move and ask for a second to consider and potentially approve 26-002, authorizing a contract for the Building Management Department with Kluber Architects and Engineers for professional services related to the Kane County Adult Justice Center kitchen and laundry improvements. Second by,
Could I have a second?
Sanchez seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez.
then
yes, sir.
open discussion. I have a motion. I'd like to move to amend and replace the existing resolution that's on the agenda that was sent out with an alternate that is suggested by the state's attorney. Copies have been applied or supplied to you. It's the beige copy here. So I would like to move and have a second to replace the existing one with this copy here, which was provided by the state's attorney.
Hennessis will move.
I move, that's a second then.
Oh, second.
Yeah, okay.
So what is the difference?
Yeah,
Because
what-
I've not had a chance to read this.
I don't know. That's why we have a state's attorney.
All right, we have a state's attorney in the room.
I will put it over to an assistant state's attorney, John Frank.
Who's he gonna pass it on?
Roger.
This, and
We-
the upside
we
is the
find-
person who made the changes
catch
is
it?
here, so I will pass it along to another. Nate Steve Ford.
And so it goes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Stephen Ford from the State's Attorney's Office. So this is just a housekeeping change. The way the resolution was initially written, it referenced a contract, whereas what this vendor wants us to do is execute an amendment to an existing contract. So just so we made the recommendation, so the board's aware, it's not a new contract. It's an amendment to a contract that they already approved. So that's all.
I'm gonna say,
All right, so we are
We have a motion and a second to
We have a
amend.
motion to replace the entire resolution that is in the board book with this new resolution.
Which the beige.
Is that, yes, yes, sir.
Madam Chair, I have a comment. On the first line, the resolution reads, its number is 26-02, not 002. So, is there a typo or is it changed?
Probably a Scribner's error with that. May I assume that?
This is Scrivener's error. You can, by everyone agreeing, you can just fix it. You don't need to take a roll
Okay.
call on the amendment. Just
So we can recognize this is a Scribner's error and it'll be. Okay, the clerk has got the notification. Thank you, Mr. Iqbal, for that. Yes, Mr. Gripe.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I understand the contractual adjustments here. I'm curious why was this not in the existing contract that it needed to be, or is this a new expense that's coming up? A little,
Yeah, Mr. Fonstock can answer that, John.
I think it's afternoon. No, it's not afternoon yet. Good morning. Roger Fonstock with
Can you
IT
get
and
closer to
Building.
your microphone?
Yeah, Roger Fonstock with IT and Building Management. So this is the construction administration services for the kitchen and laundry improvements that we had passed maybe a month or two ago. In that original proposal, the construction administration with the architects and engineers was not a part of that resolution. So we're adding the construction administration. I think it's about 3% of the total project. And we need Kluber to review all of the actual contractors and labor and the work that's being done. And they'll help us with approving the pay application. So that's what this is. And it was not a part of the original agreement. I can't remember the exact price of the kitchen and laundry renovation, but I think it was about $1.5 million renovation work. And this is construction administration for it.
so if I may, so somebody realized that we needed their help where we previously didn't think
It
we
was,
did?
it was an oversight in the last resolution that we didn't have it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So construction managers are, as you know, with major construction, critically important for oversight, very important. Any other questions on this? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Allen,
Alan, I.
Arroyo,
Oh, yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Gripe,
Gripe, yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Juby, Caius,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Hennessis,
Hennessis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Burgess, yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Kepi,
Happy, yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
passes.
Good. All right, let me just get caught up here.
Madam Chair, Gums, question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we still have to make the amendment? Did I miss that?
I could not hear you.
It was the amendment.
Oh,
correct?
sorry.
That's the amendment that
Okay.
has been taken.
I was
care
in,
of.
I apologize.
All right, we have a request to go into open session, but we have people who
Closed
are
session.
waiting, closed session. Can we wait, so we can get through some of this because we have people, community members here?
I have no problem if you want to do the zoning petition, given that people are here, but I'll defer to you. We have no outside counsel waiting, so there's not like a ticking clock, but we do have a lot of attorneys here for closed session, so I wouldn't want to push it to the end.
All right, so let's go through zoning and let's take care of solar. Since people are here. That's all right with you, Mr. Williams? Can move forward
It'd be fine with me. I'm gonna be recusing myself due to a conflict, so
for all.
no, just for the solar petition.
Oh.
So
Okay.
Dr. Iqbal's gonna handle it.
Okay, very good. So why don't we do solar? And take care of that first, since that's first on the agenda. May I have a motion and a second to discuss item number 25-1541?
Bates moves.
Linder, second.
Let's,
Thank you, Leslie.
let's get through with this one, then we can go back.
That's right. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Who motioned to the second? Okay, so who's going to lead this?
Dr. Iqbal.
Dr. Iqbal? Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah, Madam Chair, may it please the board. This petition is for a solar project. The petitioner is CFPIL Blue Stem Solar LLC. The property owner is Tom Matias through Tom Matias Revocable Trust. This is special use permit request from F farming zone district to allow for development of a commercial energy.
Mr. Iqbal, could
facility.
you get closer to your microphone, please?
This property is roughly 80 acre and it adjoins village of Montgomery, city of Aurora, and the village of Sugar Grove. Mr. Leonard is the a county board member representing that area. This is the largest or one of the largest development that we are seeing in this business. It is 80 acres and it will produce 15 megawatt of electricity. I believe a staff member is here who can go further on it. Natalie? Yeah, can you?
Hi, everyone. Blair, if you could pull up maybe the PowerPoint. Next page. Thank you. So this petition is from the applicant CFP Illinois Blue Stem Solar LLC. The property owner is Thomas Mateus, or the Thomas E. Mateus Revocable Trust. They are requesting a special use permit in the F farming zoning district to allow for the development of a commercial solar energy facility. The property is approximately 80 acres, located on the south side of Prairie Street, east of Gordon Road in Sugar Grove Township, Kane County. It is in the Board District 5, Bill Leonard. All notice was sent out. And if you have any other questions about the petition, I'm happy to answer them. We also have the petitioner here if you have more specific questions.
Was there any opposition?
I believe there was opposition. Blair, could you maybe go forward a few slides? Keep going. Yeah, so the city of Aurora and the village of Montgomery did provide comments, not in opposition to the project, but just with some general notes. The village of Sugar Grove did formally object to the petition. They sent a letter as well as a signed resolution. Other than that, if you can move forward again. Keep going. Actually, go back one. Thank you. So this was all of the public comment we'd received in writing. We did receive a nearby property owner, the ASF Corporation and Silverbrook Farms. And then we did get a letter of support from the subject property owner, Mateus.
Okay. I'd like to bring up with, would you like to bring up the petitioner?
Yeah, petitioner, the property owner, I think rep is here.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning. My name is Gary Lanos. I'm the lead developer on the Blue Stem Solar project here. Thanks again to the county board for having me here today. And I just wanted to take the opportunity to provide some context about the project. I'll also just say, you know, it's encouraging to see all the participation this morning from the public. And other agencies. But, first I'll just highlight that this is a big economic investment in the community, which will generate electricity for the ComEd power grid and create over 4 million in new tax revenues without straining local resources. The new electrical infrastructure built, which will allow for the power to be distributed to the grid, totals $8 million and will be paid for by the project, not by ratepayers. So it's a large investment. It consists of three 5-megawatt community solar projects, which Kane County residents can subscribe to, and even municipal buildings if they choose to. And once operational, when you subscribe, you get a locked-in electric rate to protect, the ratepayer from any increasing energy prices, which we know are happening today. Kane County is committed to being a solar-friendly community, and our project adheres to all Kane County commercial solar energy facility requirements. The property itself is classified as either resource management, open space, undeveloped, or agriculture in all future land use plans available. And today it's surrounded by over 1,500 acres of farmland to the west and south. Of the 5 municipalities notified of the project, it's kind of, at the center of a lot of surrounding municipalities. The village of Sugar Grove was the only one that did object, but those are reasons that we believe are unsubstantiated. The reasons are also almost identical to the objections that they raised against another nearby solar project about a half-mile away that was approved by the board last week. In their letter, the primary objections assert that a solar farm will deter future residential development, and they cite future plans for an extension of Gordon Road from Prairie Street down to Jericho Road. Unfortunately, those objections ignore market realities, as there's currently limited demand for residential development in the area, and the road extension has been stuck in the concept phase for more than 20 years with no clear path forward, the main reason being lack of funding. We have made several attempts to accommodate feedback from the municipalities, including the village of Sugar Grove. For instance, the city of Aurora requested that we provide over the summer a 20-foot right-of-way dedication along Prairie Street, which we agreed to. And at that time, they informed us of the potential road extension, stating that the exact location is difficult to determine, but the existing right-of-way south puts the extension on the property to the west, so not on our property. Really, the bottom line is that our project will not hinder the road concept. The challenge for them is really lack of funding and limited demand for, new residential development. And our solar project does not face those challenges. One other note I'll make is the one other objection letter that we received from a neighbor. It turns out that he, now is actually interested in potentially hosting his own solar project. So we are, speaking to him as well. We didn't submit anything to document that, but that is the current status of that one objection outside of the village of Sugar Grove. So, we ask that the zoning board not make their decision based on any of these conceptual plans, but on the merits of our project and its compliance with all Kane County requirements. Appreciate the opportunity to bring this project to life in the next 1 to 2 years, and thank you for the time here. I'm happy to answer any other questions that you might have.
We have, Mr. Surges and then Ms. Judy. Mr. Surges?
Madam Chair, if this is in Mr. Leonard's district, I'm just wondering.
We can't, Cliff, we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me okay now?
No, not at all.
He wants to know it's in Mr. Leonard's district and how he feels about it.
Correct.
It's, thank you. The text that, yes, it is Mr. Leonard's district. And Mr. Leonard, how do you feel about it?
My opinion is I understand the merits of the project. However, the village of Sugar Grove is against it. And we just approved a similar size solar field within a half mile of it. So I will be voting against it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Yes, Ms. Juby.
So I had a clarifying question. When you talked about the other objector, it's Silverbrook that is looking
Yeah.
to do that. But they did not send us any information telling us they were reconsidering. So that's what we have to stand on is their letter of objection, but it's Silverbrook, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, my second question is this our second field of multiple solar fields? Didn't we just do one that had 3 solar fields on it before? And can you show us where on the map that last, do we have 2 more in this area or just one?
One large.
One,
One large one.
okay, can you show us on the map where that other solar field is?
I can tell you just generally where the name Jericho Road is. It was right above that essentially on the last map we were looking at.
Madam Chair.
Get the laser pointer for him.
So is this north of? Is this
Yes,
the north
I'll
of the
recognize Mr. Leonard.
Yes, I just wanted to mention, the other solar field that was approved was a similar size to this one, 80 acres, very large one. And it's between this proposed solar field and Route 47 on the north side of Prairie Road also.
Yep. Blair,
Can
can
you
you go
get it?
one slide forward, please?
There you go.
Okay, so
Very
on
good, thank
this
you.
map,
It's the white area.
it's, you see the
Can
Sugar
you,
Grove.
can you
Parkway?
speak a little bit louder into the mic? Thank you.
Sorry. If I had a pointer, I could point, but
Pointer.
it's just west of the Sugar Grove Parkway, north of Jericho Road.
There we go.
Here it comes.
Okay, so it's,
Yeah, in that
Technology
area.
comes to our rescue.
That's east. That's east.
so that was the Orchard Solar that was recently approved and passed by the King County Board. And this is approximately where where this Blue Stem Solar is being proposed.
I'm sorry for clarification. Is that east of Sugar Grove Parkway?
Yes, I'm sorry,
Okay, thank you.
right there.
She was looking very Italian without that pointer, by the way.
Yeah, we can
Now
hear
we
you.
now
loud
we
and
can hear
clear.
you loud and clear. Well, you got your Italian up, so calm it down. All right. Yes, yes, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Which one of the two we're talking about is first in line?
What do you mean by first in line?
We already approved one.
So this is number
Yeah.
2.
So Orchard Solar has already been passed by this board. Today, we are considering Blue Stem Solar, which is right here. And
Madam Chair Gums.
Yes, Ms. Gums.
I have a quick question because we brought it up here for you, even though there's no formal thing out there. Which parcel is now considering doing another project? That it was a neighbor?
Oh. It's still being kind of.
Yeah, I know it's not official or formal or anything.
It's south of Blue Stem here and west of, or sorry,
Okay,
east.
fair. That's close enough. Thank you.
Right here.
Okay.
Okay, so are there any other questions on this? Yes.
What would be the distance between the already approved field and this field?
It's about a half mile.
About a half a mile. Okay.
Is it all farmland in between?
I was just gonna, make that note. It's all agricultural land, in between the two.
Yes, yes.
Is there a feeling that that's overcrowding or that would be too many fields in one, couple mile area, or it seems like people are worried about that.
Yeah, okay. I understand the question. Yeah. There's about 1,500 acres of farmland here. The two projects combined will be, maximum 160 acres, which is,
Out of 1,500 in that
about
quadrant.
1% of that total area.
Uh-huh.
When you have the projects consolidated like that, you're able to put more power in a smaller area too. So instead of having 6 projects kind of you know, as a mosaic in across that area. You have them all kind of in 2-3 project clusters.
I just want to say that Illinois has a very big goal for solar, and it's one way to try to fight these rate hikes that we're experiencing right now through, especially through community solar, which everybody who signs up will receive a 10% discount on their rate. So think of people who can't afford their electric bills right now and what this can do for controlling those price hikes in Illinois. We desperately need more solar to do that.
Mr. Gripe?
Thank you.
Then
You
Mr.
said there's
Linder.
1,500 or 15,000?
1,500.
1,500. So 160 is 10%, not 1%. Actually, it's
Yes,
11.5.
Yeah.
10%.
Okay.
Mr. Linder?
Since we're talking about community solar, can those of us who don't buy our electricity from Commonwealth Edison still benefit from community solar?
You have to be a ComEd ratepayer in order to sign up. Yeah.
I'd like to get
Changes
some-
my mind.
Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. I'd like to get some information about your workforce. Where are they? Tell me a little bit about your company.
Yeah, so the project is owned by Novel Energy Solutions. They have a portfolio of, I believe, 100 megawatts of community solar across a few different states, Minnesota. These are their first projects, or it will be their first projects in Illinois. And they have a full EPC capabilities to construct the project, and they will be the owner operator of the facility moving forward.
So you're going to be bringing in your own workforce then, is that correct?
Yes, I don't believe they've selected a potential sub to boots on the ground to build the facility. That happens at a later stage here. But so if you guys would like to make a suggestion on who you would like to see considered for the work, I'm sure, we'd be open to it.
Well, I will just speak for myself. I prefer using Illinois people who currently are residents here, and apprenticeships, apprentices who are learning this field, because it's a very important field to learn about. Community solar and installation of solar power is just very informative and an amazingly wonderful job for the future. So that would be my suggestion, using Illinois workforce.
Yeah, understood. Okay.
Yeah, Madam Chair, on the department has added a lot of stipulation to this to this petition. At this point, I don't have any objector to present to you. So could we call the roll?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You ready? Okay. Call the roll, please.
Allen?
Allen, aye.
Arroyo? Bates?
Yes.
Garcia?
Say yes.
Gripe?
Gripe, no.
Gums?
Comes no.
Iqbal?
Yes.
Juby? Pius?
Yes.
Leonard?
Leonard, no.
Linder?
Yes.
Molina?
Molina, yes.
Excuse me.
Lewis? My apologies. Lewis, yes.
Back.
Pennises?
Genesis, yes.
Roth?
Roth, no.
Sanchez?
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman?
Yes.
Surgis?
No.
Tarver?
Tarver, no.
Tepe?
Deppie, no.
Williams? Young?
No.
No.
Passes 9 noes.
Okay. So congratulations. Before we move forward, it was brought to my attention that we do have to take a vote on final vote, because we did pass the revised.
Did the amendment.
We passed the amendment. We did not pass the actual resolution as amended. So if I could just bring your attention back very quickly to item number 26002. And Mr. Caius, we have to take the vote on the amendment.
I apologize. It got away from me.
No, it was let's just get this done. So everybody's clear what we're voting on? So clerk, could you call the roll on the amendment of for 26-002?
Allen,
Allen, aye.
Royo, Bates,
Yes.
Garcia,
Say yes.
right?
Type yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Equal, yes.
Juby, Caius,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Yes, yes.
Linder,
Yes.
Ina,
Molina, yes.
Hennessis,
Hennessis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman, Surges,
Yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Pepe,
Pepe, yes.
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
passes.
Glasses here. All right, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Williams and let's talk, A and please,
Madam
I'm
Chair.
sorry, as I'm looking.
Madam Chair,
Yes, yes, yes.
over here.
Oh, yes, sir.
We were going to go into closed session after zoning.
There's more zoning.
We were going to wait until we get done with this issue,
All the zonings.
all the ordinances.
What I meant was zoning petitions. Because I did not want to have all of our attorneys sitting here till the end of the.
All right, we've got people who are waiting though. Can we just get through with the main ordinance and we can go through the noise one? And the no trespassing. So why don't we go into, if you could lead Mr. Williams, ordinance number 26-037.
Miss Juby's, I believe.
Oh,
It's Miss
yeah,
Juby's.
Oh,
We can come back to that one.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
Believe it or not, Madam Chair, in regard to Ms. Juby's, the ag one, it's on the agenda. This is the first reading. There's no need to come back to it.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not going to do that one. We're going to go to
Right.
the short-term rentals.
In an hour.
038.
038, thank you. There we are. There we are, 038. It's item number B. Okay,
For your consideration is ordinance number 26-038. An ordinance amending chapter 2 administration, article 9 administrative adjudication, section 2-320, adoption of system of administrative adjudication, and chapter 7 business and commercial regulations of the Kane County Code to provide for regulation of short-term rentals in unincorporated areas of Kane County. I would move for approval and ask for a second.
please.
Leonard will second.
Okay, Mr. Leonard, second.
But this is, Madam Chair, this is the first reading.
Well, go ahead.
This one would not require two readings.
Only because we're not changing the rules of order for the board
Oh, okay.
and there's no financial expenditure with this. So is there any discussion on this item?
Yes.
Oh, Ms. Juby, thank you.
So we had a lot of talk about this in executive meeting, not executive session. I just wondered, does this add short-term rentals to the special use in our county zoning code by doing this?
No,
How would we do that?
we have to amend the zoning code.
Okay, so this is something completely different.
Completely different process.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Question, Mr. Iqbal?
Yeah, Madam Chair, this is a kind of contentious area, and we need to spend more time to it. First of all, SDR, I'm told that they are on increase, they're everywhere. And it is, this process, this SDR business is ruining the neighborhood. And for us to allow SDR, I think would not be the benefit of the public. My suggestion would be twofold. Number one, pass a resolution or ordinance that we have in front of us to grandfather whosoever is in this business. And from this point on, for future, ban it in the residential areas. Lake County has done it, and we would not be the first one. I have talked to state attorney's office, and they may have some comment. It's a complex area, and we have to go slowly on it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Gripe, your neighborhood.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll tell you all that this is one of the most complicated things I've ever been involved in. And I've been listening and talking to Rick and development department. Everybody's putting an amazing amount of time, neighbors in the area. And frankly, I'm still not convinced the right way to do this. I mean, we've got existing short-term rentals. We need to figure out if there's anything we can do to shut them down, to regulate them. I don't know what that would be. The second thing is, what steps do we need to do next? Because even if we pass these things, these three resolutions, there's ordinances, sorry, there's three things there's things we need to do in the future. We've discussed banning them prospectively. I got the opinion that Lake County has done it, by the way, but I don't know that I don't know if appetite's the right word or whatever, but I'm just hesitant to vote on this today, that I might be missing something. And like I said, guys, you're all very smart people, but I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours on this, and I'm still not convinced. I think doing something is a great idea. I think this is a kind of a good thing, but I'm not sure. So I don't know how you guys would vote because, I'm confused and I've done all this research. So I'm looking for help from state's attorney, from other people, Rick, anybody that can help say, what can we do with, and Mo mentioned grandfathering. Is that a given in this? Like if I have a short-term rental business now, is there anything that this body can do to control that, regulate that, so that wasn't helpful maybe, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Mr. Linder?
I'm really conflicted here. I listened to Ms. Davidson in public comment. She said that this was worse than doing nothing. And I sort of disagree with that, but this is not enough. The restrictions on things like parking and number of occupants and that sort of thing are a good thing. And they may discourage some people from putting their property up for short-term rental, but it puts the burden on the homeowners in the neighborhood to count the cars, count the people, call the sheriff, convince the sheriff that there's a violation. The sheriff can go tell people, you can only have 16 people here because there's only 8 bedrooms or whatever it is. And so 4 people leave and the sheriff leaves and the 4 people come back. And again, it's the burden on the neighbors. My solution, I think, is close to where Mr. Grape and Mr. Iqbal are. And that is that we would expect the current businesses that we can probably not put out of business to comply with this ordinance and add to it something that says, you needed to have been in this business prior to the passing of the ordinance. Then we need to go back and look at what Lake County did to prohibit them totally through the zoning code. Because I live in this nice little neighborhood in the middle of town, and the houses are probably too small for parties, but I would hate having some operation that had cars and people and so forth across the street or next door to me. And it's not going to happen in my neighborhood, and I'm in town anyway. I'm incorporated, but we need to limit this as much as we can. So I think these terms are probably fine for locking in the people that currently, as of the passage of the ordinance, have been engaged in this business, because I don't think we can stop them. We can limit them. But then from there on, I think we need to move very quickly towards banning them altogether.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Yes, Mr. Penesis.
Yeah, I appreciate Rick, all the work Board Member Williams did on this.
Could you get a little closer to your mic?
Yeah, I'll take this off too. Appreciate Board Member Williams, all the work that you did on this. I've been following this along the whole way. I think there's a need to have some regulation here. What Lake County did as far as banning, I'm not sure that's the way to go. I do have a question later too, if that's okay. So I'm for this, and if, as we move forward, if there's some regulations that we need to adjust, we can do that moving forward, but there's some regulations that need to be done right now. You know, banning this, I don't think is an answer. The question I have for you, Rick, is $200 seems kind of low. Is that like, did you do like a census of like communities and other counties as far as $200? Because that seems kind of low to me.
I agree with you. That's what the statute allows us to do. And we are governed by our enabling authority and under the municipal code. We only have the authority specifically granted to us under the municipal code. And that's what they gave us, the authority. So, you know, someone like Ms. Gums could lobby to get that raised, and I would be 100% in favor of raising that licensing fee, but that's the most we can do.
Could we shorten the licensing period? So they had to pay every 30 days or every 60 days or something?
I don't have the statute in front of me. I don't know the answer to that. I would defer to state's attorney on that.
What do you think?
We can look at the statute, but you will not be able to go beyond whatever the statute says. And if I had to guess, we've already are doing that.
I
But
think
I'll-
it says
but I'll
annual,
double check.
but-
Yeah, I would say that everything that we've seen so far is annual to do that to the collection.
Yeah, it's annual. Statute requires
If
it.
you could confirm that for us.
I just did.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
That was fast. Thank you very much. This, yes.
Comes here at the last discussion of this, I was asked to participate in the request to have some of those fees increased. From what I'm hearing right now, and I'm a little confused on first reading and second reading, but we'll get to that in a second. It sounds like there's a lot of questions here. Yesterday I finished my packet and I was, you know, I would support or vote yes for this, but it doesn't sound like all of you are understanding it. Certainly I'm not 100% sure. And I don't know, I guess here's my question is, I don't mean to put you on the spot, John, but I am very confused about the first and second readings. And is it okay, is my question, if we adopt this as a first reading, are we allowed to adopt this as a first reading and then go forward and suggest that perhaps we can do it as a second reading? I understand you said we don't have to, but it could be a solution that satisfies a lot of the things between now and then.
So we took a look just to make sure first and second readings, as there was questions that came up last week as related to executive. The only thing that requires the second reading is changes to 248 because you're changing your own rules. Pretty much that's it, unless there's a statutory requirement, which these don't qualify as. And that includes also the trespassing and some of the nuisance stuff that comes up later. However, I have gathered kind of the sense from some of you is, you know, kind of a general feeling like what you're proposing. To do that, you'll just do it procedurally, which is you all agree today through a motion to continue to the next county board meeting. And if the majority of the board wants to go ahead and move it to the next meeting, then it'll come back up in the next meeting. And at that point, it's a second reading or effectively acts as a second reading. So you could do it that way.
Hold on, Mr. Cliff, he's been waiting, and then Mr. Tarver, Mr. Surges.
Madam Chair, I'm just, you know, I've listened to this one. I've had conversations, you know, I've asked Rick questions, I've asked Gripe questions, I've asked the constituent with the concern some questions. I'm very much in favor of stepping forward to get the registration online so we can quantify the size of the issue we're dealing with. But I'm really ambiguous as to where we're going with this from here without having a roadmap, you know, kind of stating it, and which then leads me to believe, you know, if we take this step, are we going to have to backtrack it? Is this a positive thing? I'm in favor of these being in their businesses, but I'm in favor of them being inside of the business district. So without us having those guidelines out there, if we vote yes to this, does that make us stumble moving forward? Or or is this an appropriate step? And I'm very confused on this. And so my question is, what's the rush? Can we just move this back to committee and talk about this a little bit further and move it forward? Or is there an urgency? Like, why are we debating this at a board level? Like, it seems like there's enough questions to send this back and just refine it a little bit. And so I'm asking that question. What's the urgency on this?
I'll let Mr. Williams respond to this.
I'm more than happy to send it back to committee, but come to committee and talk about it. Nobody does that.
Happy to, Rick, happy to.
Okay, well then please do, because we always debate everything in full
At
county
the
board
board.
and we spend an hour on it.
And if I may, Mr. Sturgis, unincorporated Kane County does not have a business district.
That's the challenge, isn't it? I mean, wow.
It's unincorporated. All right, we've got Mr. Tarver's next.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Based on the discussion, I'd like to make a motion to send it back to committee then.
Gums will second.
Second. Okay, we have a motion to send it back to committee. And we have a second on that. Let's take a motion on to move it back, and then we can have discussion on the movement. So you call the roll to move it back.
Is there a
No,
discussion?
no, just discussion.
Give discussion first.
On the move.
On the move. All right. Yes, Mr. Tepe, and then Mr. Young.
I would like to make the statement that the key thing that this does is to allow us to register these organizations and determine the extent of the problem. Coming up with further oversight associated with it would be very, very appropriate. But again, the key thing this does is to register these organizations, and that's what I'm in favor of.
Madam Chair, the discussion needs to be on the motion.
On the motion. This
I
is
know.
on the motion.
No, like the
you called
motion
me
to send it back to
The
committee.
second. So here's the discussion that is not appropriate. Do you have something on the reason to move this or not to move this? Yes, sir.
Okay, so the reason to move this back to committee is also to address the short-term rental prohibitions that we're all talking about. And so I think that would be appropriate, is to discuss and define what that is. And also invite the people that brought all this information, Deanna Davis and because she sent out that email that was huge, right? I think she should be involved with this discussion as well, because she has insight. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Roth.
Everything we're bringing up today was discussed in prior meetings. If everyone would read the minutes, your questions would have been answered. And so I think we're spending, and we spent an hour almost in executive talking about all this. So we're just rehashing stuff we've rehashed in development and in executive. And I thought Mr. Williams did a very good job answering those questions at that point. So I looked to him for a recommendation. He said it's not perfect, but we need to get something passed, because right now, and I'm not going to speak for Rick, but basically we don't know how many Airbnbs we have out there. And this is the purpose of this, is trying to find that number out, knowing we're going to have to make changes going forward. So
So
I'm
you would like-
against moving it.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Yes, sir. Mr. Linder.
Taking this back to committee gives us a chance to talk about, I think for what this does, it's in good shape, but I think extending it to what is that next step to prevent the proliferation of these things is something that we can add to the discussion in committee.
Anybody else who'd like to comment? All right, clerk, call the roll. This is to move it back to committee.
Allen,
aye.
Arroyo,
Oh.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Gripe,
Gripe, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Juby, Caius,
Caius, no.
Leonard,
Leonard, no.
Lewis,
It's gone.
Linder,
Later, yes.
Molina,
Molina, no.
Hennessy,
Genesis,
no.
Roth,
Roth, no.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, no.
Strathman,
Strathman, no.
Sturgis. Mr. Sturgis,
Mr. Sturgis, are you ready for your vote? To move it back to committee?
I'm
or-
sorry, I'm clicking. Surges, no.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, no.
Williams,
Williams, no.
Young,
Yes.
All right, we have 9. It passes. No, it does not pass.
not pass.
Does not pass.
11 no's, 10 yeses.
Does not go back to committee. Are we ready to take the vote? There'll be lengthy discussion on this. All right, we're taking the vote on ordinance number 26-038. Clerk, call the roll.
Allen,
Alan, no.
Arroyo,
Yes.
Bates,
It's yes.
Garcia,
Garcia, no.
Gripe,
Gripe, no.
Gums,
No.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, no.
Juby,
Juby, no.
Caius,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis, Linder,
Linder, no.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Hennessy,
Hennessy, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Surges, yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, no.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Young,
No.
passes with 7
12
noes.
to 9.
9 no's. It passes. All right, very good. Thank
Madam
you.
Chair, if I may.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So just so you're aware of what we'll be doing, Madam Chair reached out to me. There potentially is going to be an opportunity for some legislation at the state level that we're entertaining. I'm grateful for you to bring it to us, and it directly involves short-term rentals. So at the state level, that may solve a lot of our issues here. I just wanted you to know that it's going on. I will tell you that I'm not optimistic because, well, I shouldn't say that. Yes, I'm optimistic. But it's a slow year for our legislators, and there's a lot of capital that they're going to have to be spending on some bigger issues. So don't hold your breath, but have hope.
Madam
Yes.
Chair.
Yes, Ms. Bates.
This could be amended. I hope this is better than nothing. With respect to with all due respect to our speakers who were very eloquent, I do think we need to look at a ban. I'm going along with Mr. Linder. I don't think these are good for communities. I think they erode communities. There's nobody there to vote. There's nobody there to join a PTA. I don't think they're great for the community.
Okay, thank you for that comment. All right, I think we've had a lot of discussion. Last one, Miss Allen.
I'll be brief. The elephant in the room is that R1 zoning does not allow this. That's all.
Okay, very good. Okay, so we have some opportunity for you. This will get signed and it has been passed. So I'm speaking to our community members as well. Please remain in contact as we go through our next steps. And again, I would thank you for bringing this to our attention and uncovering a concern that we have here in Kane County that I do not think this board was fully cognizant of. So I deeply appreciate that. Yes, sir.
I ask that the state's attorney study the idea that this becomes income property and the assessor should somewhat be aware of it.
What?
The assessor should be aware that this is not just a residence, it's income property. Therefore, it should be assessed at a higher rate.
Okay.
The zoning.
Ms. Gums
zoning issue.
disagrees.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think we've had enough discussion on this. We can
Yes.
bring this fully forward back to committee where it can be addressed again, when we can talk about zoning and other restrictions on this and have a lengthy, thoughtful discussion on this.
Yes.
Mr. Williams, if you allow, for your next meeting, I have some ideas and thoughts on this. If we could put it on the agenda, to go forward.
Yeah, let's talk. I got to see how heavy our agenda is with zoning petitions.
Okay, fair.
All right, very good. Now let's go back to the request. We need to go into closed session. So may I have a motion to go into closed session to discuss release of closed session minutes pending probable imminent litigation and settlement of claims.
Roth will make a motion to go into closed sessions regarding the 3 things you mentioned.
Very good. Thank you.
Under seconds.
Second, okay. Clerk, call the roll.
Allen,
Alan, aye.
Arroyo, Bates, Garcia, Gripe, Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Yes.
Juby,
Yeah.
Caius,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Linder,
Yes.
Lena,
Molina, yes.
Genesis,
Genesis, yes.
Raw,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman,
Stefan, yes.
Surges,
Yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Tepi,
Steppy, yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we are going into closed session.
All right, a reminder for those in the room that have joined Zoom, you must exit Zoom before we can officially go into closed session. The couple of people online, please accept the invites and we'll let you know when we're ready to get started again.
7 seconds of closed session.
Let's see how many hours.
Oh, it's in the back.
I have a couple of board members in the room. I will shame you momentarily if you don't leave the Zoom.
I only need one. We're passing this down. I don't care about them. You hear that too? Oh, my God.
Oh, we got a whole plan here. Uh-oh.
One person walking back towards his computer that needs to sign out of Zoom.
It's great.
He's ugly. He's bald.
Like an orange.
He was gonna, lead meeting.
Well, that's what I did.
Because the bed and breakfast would be.
be liable.
I agree.
And there may be some countersuits if something happens here,
I
which
agree.
I would do in a minute.
No. What is law? If we're not Cook County.
Right.
I hope so. Walking. And I got it.
All right, you're in open session.
All right, we are back in open session. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Allen,
Alan present?
Arroyo, Bates, Garcia,
Garcia here.
Comes here. Iqbal,
All present.
Juby,
Caius present.
Leonard.
Sure.
Linder. Mr. Linder,
Here.
Molina,
Molina present.
Mrs.
This is here.
Roth,
Here.
Sanchez, Strathman,
Here.
Surges,
Sturgis present.
Tarver, B. Young. You have a quorum in the room.
Okay, very good. May I please have a motion and a second to vote on the release of closed session minutes as recommended by the State's Attorney's Office and as reflected in Exhibit A.
Caius move.
Thank you. Seconds. Leonard, Mr. Leonard, thank you. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Allen,
I'm sorry, I was talking.
Closed session minutes. Say yes.
Alan, aye.
oh,
Yes.
Bates, Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Gripe, Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Juby, Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Penesis,
Yes.
Sanchez, Strathman,
Yes.
Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Pepe, William, Young, passes.
Oh, very good. All righty. We are now moving into. Right, let me get a copy of the agenda. I was so engaged with our closed session minutes. Oh. Ms. Chuby, do you want to read it? As I'm finding my notes.
Sure, no problem. I would like a motion to entertain ordinance number 26-037, which is amending the language relating to the Agriculture Committee.
Strathman will move.
Leonard will second.
Second.
I'm just doing what she asked me to do.
Okay.
Madam Chair, this is not up for motion or anything. This is a first reading. You just simply have it
reading.
on, yeah. So it simply gets moved to this next meeting.
Okay,
There's
so.
no motion to be made.
Oh, thank you for that. I'm getting caught up. Okay, and who's the second? Who's second?
I did.
Okay, thank you. So this is, thank you for saying this out loud. We will move this to next board meeting. Okay, we have that one done. And now your turn, Mr. Williams, number C.
The next item for your consideration is ordinance number 26039, amending chapter 15 nuisance and property maintenance of the Kane County Code pertaining to noise.
And
Make a motion for approval. Right.
Linder, second.
second, all right, this one we can approve, is that correct? Okay, very good. So is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Alan, aye.
Yes.
Bates,
Yes.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Gripe,
Right, yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Juby, Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Penesis, Roth,
Roth, yes.
Strathman, Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
passes.
Passes. You want to do the
Next item is ordinance number 26-040, amending chapter 15 nuisances and property maintenance of the Kane County Code to declare trespassing a public nuisance. I would ask for a motion.
Roth will make the motion.
Linder, second.
discussion? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Allen,
Alan, aye.
Arroyo, Bates, Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Gripe,
Right, yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Yes.
Juby,
Yeah.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Linder,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Hanasis,
Yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tarver, Pepe,
Happy, yes.
Williams,
Williams, no.
Young,
Yes.
passes 1 no.
Okay, very good. Mr. Roth, could you please do item E?
Yes, I can.
No, I did not.
It's on page 748. Resolution number 26-041, personal expense voucher reimbursement in the amount of $1,270.85.
So moves.
Leonard will second.
Very good. Thank you. Any discussion on this?
Shoot.
Thank you.
Seeing none except a sneeze, which I think was an affirmation. Clerk call the roll.
Allen,
Aye.
Arroyo, Bates,
Yes.
Garcia,
Say yes.
Grape,
Gripe, yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Juby, Caius,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Hanasis,
Hanasis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Strathman, Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Happy, yes.
Williams, Young,
Yes.
passes.
Okay, very good. Mr. Leonard, could you do F and G?
Our first one is ordinance 26-042. This is authorizing fiscal year 2026 non-union cost of living wage increase and emergency appropriation and budget adjustment to amend the fiscal year 2026 county budget. These are expenses that have been transferred in order to handle this 3% raise. And so it's within budget. There's no change to the general fund.
Ms. Gums moves.
Strathman will second.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Ms. Strathman. Comments? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, aye.
Arroyo, Bates,
It's yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Grape,
Yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Juby,
GBI.
Caius,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Linder,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Hanasis,
Yes.
Roth, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Sanchez.
Sanchez, yes.
Okay. Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Pepe,
Happy, yes.
Williams, Young,
Yes.
passes.
Very good.
Our next ordinance is 26-043. This is authorizing fiscal year 2026 county board employees cost of living wage increase and emergency appropriation and budget adjustment to amend the fiscal year 2026 county budget. Once again, these are funds that are being transferred from other expenses to this 3% increase. So no change in general fund.
Bates moves.
Thank you, Ms.
Will second.
Thanks, Ms. Gums. Discussion? None. Clerk call the roll.
Allen,
Aye.
Arroyo, Bates,
It's yes.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Grape,
Yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Juby,
Yeah.
Caius,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Linder,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Hanasis,
Hanasis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strathman,
Yes.
Surges,
Sturgis abstain.
Tarver, Pepe,
Happy, yes.
Williams, Young,
No.
passes 1 no, 1 abstain.
Abstain, so, right, very good. Mr. Roth, next one, please.
Yes. It is, bear with me 1 second so I can bring it up. It's on page 774. Resolution number 26044, declaring a vacancy in the office of county board in the county of Kane, District number 9. I'll make the motion if I can get a second.
Linder, second.
Okay, Mr. Linder, thank you. Seeing no discussion. Clerk call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, aye.
Arroyo, Bates,
Bates, yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Grape,
Gripe, yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Juby,
GBI.
Caius,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Molina, yes.
Hanasis,
Hanasis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Yes.
Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Pepe,
Happy, yes.
Williams, Young,
Yes.
passes.
Okay, and the last one, Mr. Leonard.
This is resolution 26-045. This is authorizing an emergency appropriation and budget adjustment for the state's attorney's office in the fiscal year 2026 budget. The general fund will not be affected in any way. There was a $167,000 surplus. They are requesting $150,000 of that in the 26 budget, which was agreed upon before the budget was approved. This is just enacting that agreement.
Very good. Do we have
Ma-
Young,
Madam Chair.
we
Uh,
have to get a second. Are you ready to second?
second.
Okay, okay.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Leonard, I don't recall this passing the committee. I don't recall this passing the finance committee.
So I think part of the issue was because we have to figure out what our surplus is. We didn't have timing to go through the normal route. So that's why it's here and off consent agenda.
I think you're right, Mr. Tepe, but I think that's why we put it or took it off the consent agenda
Correct.
so that we could discuss that with the exact figures.
Okay, so again, why is this not going through the committee process?
So we didn't have time to do it because at the end of the year, we're trying to balance everything and figure out how much we're over. We just got those numbers by the time we were able to do this. And because we have to now move this money over before it's earmarked, we have a timing situation that's happening. So that's why we brought it to the full county board off consent so that it could be discussed fully.
Miss Hopkinson is just walked into the room if we need. Does anybody need to hear from Kathleen? Saying none. Just hello.
Madam Chair, I did have a question
Yes.
or
Ms.
more of a comment, I guess. I'm concerned that I'm not sure where Mr. Leonard mentioned that this had been previously agreed upon. And I guess if you can, I'm not sure where this was previously agreed upon. My concern is that we're going to be asking departments again this year to reduce their budgets. And to make this an emergency appropriation to increase the budget I'm concerned with it. Just not just the optics, but the perception then every single department who did have a surplus last year will be coming to the county asking for that money to be reappropriated to this year. And then we're going to be asking everybody again to cut their budgets for 2027. So I guess if Mr. Leonard can kind of give me an idea as to what was agreed upon to kind of ease my apprehension with this, but at this point, I'm not comfortable with this at this point.
I think it's a very good question, Ms. Molina. Ultimately, what we did is we had a discussion on this. We did not know the exact figures, but there was an understanding that if there was a surplus, there was a need for another 150,000. If the surplus was equal to or greater than that, we would transfer this one time over to the state's attorney's office, this surplus. And we're not transferring all of it. We're only transferring 150,000 of it. So it's really an isolated instance. There are no other situations where we've agreed to do this or that we will agree to do it. And one thing nice about this situation is anytime department or an elected official comes forward and asks for an emergency resolution, it will come in front of this board, also the finance committee and the executive committee for their approval before it moves forward.
Mr. Linder.
Okay, so it's 150,000 that we're granting. Does that, if we were to close the books today, does that increase the deficit by 150,000?
No, because this was $167,000 surplus and we're taking 150 of the $167,000 surplus. So we're not affecting the general fund.
Well, this surplus was sitting over in another account someplace.
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, I've come in under budget every year that I've been the state's attorney, and this is another example of me coming in under budget.
Why don't we just plan on that and not give you the money?
Well,
that's what we're hoping for.
But that was part of the discussions when we were going through the budget, because I met often with Mr. Leonard and Mr. Tepe. And that was a part of our discussion for me to agree to the $1.3 million deficit that my office had to suffer. We did exactly what was asked by Mr. Leonard and Mr. Tepe. We've offered resignations and retirements for people now to try to make up for that. We've applied for additional grant funding. And within that discussion was this idea that if we came in under budget again, that we would take a portion of it to apply towards that deficit.
Ideally too, if I may say, when we were approving the budget, we didn't have the exact figures yet. So we couldn't put this into effect until we knew the exact surplus. And there was an understanding, whatever that surplus was, it would have to be equal to or less than that surplus if there was a surplus. And in this case, there was. So this is an isolated instance. Doesn't affect our general fund. We're not increasing the deficit by even a dollar. In fact, we're improving the deficit by $17,000.
Yes, Mr. Tepe.
Just to make sure, I'm not questioning the fact or associated with this. I'm questioning the process. This to me is something that should have gone through the Judicial Committee and then should have gone through the Finance Committee. Should not have jumped those particular situations. And we're going to be faced with, most probably we're going to be faced with other emergency appropriations. And we need to make sure that the scrutiny is done by the committee members, not by the whole board, that it's really done in advance. So I understand this particular situation. I will reluctantly vote yes, okay? But I think the board needs to make it very clear that we want stuff to go through the committee and we want the committees to really be scrutinizing any budget change. Thank you. Sorry.
Yes, we've got a couple
I
of,
just have a really quick clarifying question.
yes.
It's my understanding that it did go through, the discussion was there, but the problem was that the numbers weren't 100%. Is that accurate, Mr. Leonard?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I have a question.
But it didn't go through judicial and public safety, so it might have gone through
it did not.
finance,
That-
but it did
that's
not
fair.
go through JPS, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
To clarify.
Okay, if I may, I have a quick question for Mr. Leonard regarding the budget process. It is my assumption that when you're budgeting, you budget for all of your expenses, whether or not you have a surplus or not, because it is a need. So you needed, in this case, there was $150,000 that we're talking about. Why didn't that remain in the budget and why was that cut out when there was a critical need that stayed in place?
Because we did not know if there would be a surplus. And if there was not a surplus, we would not approve this $150,000 additional expense. This is a one only, and Mr. Tepe's absolutely right. The way we've set up our agreements with all the elected officials and department heads is if they have any emergency resolution, they have to go through the proper committees. And as Ms. Molina had said, it didn't go through JPS, and she is correct on that. And it probably should have, but we just got this done. There was an agreement in principle with finance, but we wanted to explain everything. So that's why we took it off the consent agenda. But this is a one-time deal. And actually, we are improving our financial picture by $17,000.
Can't ask for that.
And one of the agreements that was made in that Mr. Leonard asked for me to make was not to come with emergency mid-year budget adjustments, with the exception of this one when we had the final numbers. So again, this was a huge negotiation that we went through prior to the budget that eventually came to this.
I can appreciate that, but we try to, as you well know, here's truthful numbers that we need to operate our offices, and this is what is required. So it's just, I was just questioning that, yes, we would support that, but.
Sure. And we understand that too. This was a one-time exception that we were willing to agree to only if there was a surplus. If there was a surplus, it would have never come up. So there was agreement on both sides on that.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
I guess my problem, because I am swirling with numbers, is that when we close out the year, the money that's there is there, and we only had to reduce we have money in an account that we have not spent. And that money was a certain amount, but unless there's a separate fund set up for maybe there would be a surplus, then that money is going to be adjusted accordingly by the $150,000.
It's a very valid point, Miss Allen. The situation was we didn't know what the surplus would be. So until we got that number, we couldn't agree on what we were going to do on reallocation for the 26 budget. Once we got that, then we knew that we had a starting point of no more than 167,000. They came in at 150,000. So is it an ideal scenario? No. Is it a negotiation, something that we did in good faith? Yes. And did both parties honor their commitment? I think we did. So it's a plus for the county in that we got our budget passed, and we've also improved the allocation in the state's attorney's office while also increasing our general fund balance by $17,000. So I see a lot of positives out of it. Was it the ideal way we wanted to do it? No, but it was a one-time exception.
Okay. Can I follow up just because of my brain? At one time last year, we thought we were going to have to spend 29 million in reserves. And then it came down to maybe only 27 million. And then as we came up to the end of the year and we were starting to get final numbers, we said, this is great. We're only going to spend 20 million. So is this 20 million plus 150,000 or 20 million minus 150,000?
It's minus 150,000. And then this 150,000 is going into the 26 budget. However, we're also receiving 167,000 for 26 to offset that 150,000.
So we're $17,000. We were $167,000 in the positive. Now we're $17,000 in the positive.
Okay, thank you.
All right. We're all good? Okay, clerk, call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, aye.
Arroyo, Bates, Garcia. See her online. Gripe, Gums,
yes.
Iqbal, Juby,
aye.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Linder,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, no.
Penesis,
Genesis, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Strath, Jit, Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Tarver,
Tarver, yes.
Tempe, yes.
Williams, Young,
No.
Passes.Ose.
Okay, that concludes that part of our agenda. Is there any new and unfinished business to discuss?
Oh, I put it away. Do we have committee updates?
New and unfinished business? No? Okay, any committee updates?
Madam Chair, Sturgis.
Yes, Mr. Surges.
There is a forest preserve presentation at the Chamber of Commerce in Carpentersville tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Mr. Linder is going to chair my committee. I will not have the travel time to get back. I will participate in the committee, but Mr. Linder will be chairing. And Michael, thank you so much.
Okay. He says thank you. Okay. Yes.
The legislative comes here. The legislative committee just has a little announcement. We'll be discussing it further, but part of our team with our lobbyist got snatched up by some super gigantic company. So we will now have a new representative in our Washington seat. Fantastic pedigree, all those things, but we'll discuss more offline.
That's huge.
Got snatched. Offer he could not refuse.
Madam Chair, first, the ARPA committee will be canceling its January meeting, but we will definitely be having a February meeting. Okay, and just so you know, things are moving along properly and it'll all be explained in February. And second is that the Transportation Committee will be moving its March meeting to the Monday date as with the Development Committee because the 17th is Election Day. So we will be
very good, of course.
moving to a day before.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
E&E will be having a talk on Friday about the solar switch program, Cubs solar switch program. So if you or any of your constituents are trying to figure out who to buy or how to buy solar or heat pumps, this is the best way to do it.
Okay. Okay. Very good.
I apologize. I actually forgot something. I have a question. Cow,
Still forgot it.
the cow coming up,
We have a cow coming up. That's right.
I had a
Nice.
little concern about that.
Why?
Hanging a cow.
Why?
This special.
Explain your concern. And we've got, could somebody put the blind down?
Well, you know what? We'll talk offline about it. Actually, that's better.
All right. Yes.
As from administration, just a couple quick updates on some of the ARPA projects. The sheriff gun range is wrapping up in January. Water quality improvements at the Juvenile Justice Center are completed, and the Adult Justice Center completed. Sheriff's Office and Adult Corrections HVAC replacement is over halfway done now. That was ARPA as well.
Doing the runs.
And the jail kitchen and laundry, which I believe we just voted something today on, is getting started. And we brokered the energy with Constellation Energy, and we will be saving some money.
Oh, always good. That's wonderful. Thank you. Good, always good news. Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair Sanchez here. This might have been unfinished business, but it's kind of related to Public Service Committee with the elections. I know we have, one of Mr. Berman's seat is still open. What is the timeline on that? Can we expect to see another appointment recommended? I'm hearing that it's not going to be until after the primary election, which would mean we were not going to vote on that until April. But I know one of the concerns was that we didn't want to appoint somebody that was going to be on the ballot. And my understanding is that the person who was top recommended by the search committee was on the ballot and has removed herself.
That's
So I
accurate.
would assume then that kind of solves the problem. And can we expect to see a appointment resolution next month at our meeting? And then for Mr. Doherty's the same, are we going to see that soon?
Well, that's a double head, two separate questions. I will ask, because I've followed exactly what the state statute is, to the letter of the law, to my knowledge, and recommended two people to this board, two potential candidates for District 2. The board did not want either one of them, leaving with the vacancy. It was within the 60-day time frame, and that was what was required. So I can't speak to District 2. I can't speak to District 9. We have done, again, complete letter of the law. I followed every step. The applicants are due on the 14th. After I have formed a committee of board members. So they have those people that I asked. We had 1 no, 3 yeses, which I think satisfies the requirement of board members. Once we get the applicants, I will convene that meeting. We'll have 2 and set up the rules of the road, as it were. They can review the resumes and then brought forward to the board, and the board can decide once again if they approve the applicants, any of the applicants, or not.
So for District 2, then will we see something next month for an appointment?
I can't speak to that right now. I really do not have, and I'm not.
Because it is in your ability, right, to bring that forward.
I can.
Madam Chair Gums, may I comment?
Confused.
May I comment on that? So obviously.
And plus, I would like to confer with our state's attorney, because I did make those recommendations. They were not approved. So the step was, I wish I had a concrete answer as to the next step. But
Well, I guess if I could just suggest the one person that was recommended the most by the search committee, who is no longer on the ballot, be appointed, because it seems that would be a majority vote that would be approved. So that's just my recommendation.
that would
Doesn't
have to be,
require a response.
Mr. Sanchez, that would have to go back to that individual and ask if that would be something they would like to do. Yes.
Madam
yes.
Chair Gums, I would like to also make a recommendation to you. I'm perfectly fine if you want to wait till after the primary. I've spoken to other board members. I think everybody else is good with that. I think the public has asked that question, and I think it's safe for you to go ahead and say that that's what the intention might be. That would just be my advice. I think it's, for me,
It's.
I would say that. I would say it out loud. Yes, I'm going to wait until after the primary.
Seems very prudent to do so,
Yeah.
and that's what I had brought up previously. But I want to confer with the state's attorney to make sure that I'm not misstepping the law, Mr. Sanchez, because right now we're in gray area, to my understanding.
Okay.
So yes and no to that.
Okay,
We're
please.
under an obligation where we should be filling that seat because that district deserves to have a voice
We all know
and
that.
votes.
Yes.
And while there was the 60-day deadline, there's all kinds of issues around that. The issue is somebody within that district could potentially sue if we remain inactive. So I think what Mr. Sanchez was suggesting is that if there's another person we could put up and possibly have a vote on, that would be much better for this county than doing nothing.
So we could potentially nominate Mary Berman again.
Yeah, without question.
You could
without
nominate
question.
anybody in the district again, essentially, who would like to take this position.
So if that is your recommendation, I will gladly approach that individual. And I will ask once again if the original recommendation, the recommended candidate, would like to reconsider this opportunity. And if so, I will bring it up as quickly as possible.
I make that recommendation.
All right, with that, may I have we're all done with committee updates and new and unfinished business?
Ross will make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Until February 10th, 2026.
8 seconds.
Thank you.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.